Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Skill Check. And rather than stepping into the fiction today, if you'll allow me, I'm stepping out of the chair and yielding to my handsome DM counterpart, Drew.
This guy can't help it.
Good luck, man.
Thank you very much. You did excellently, sir.
I appreciate it.
Hi.
Hey.
It's happy to be back here. Oh, yeah.
Just for the new DM, notice how when he came, no women came to the table.
I know.
Says a lot about Drew as a DM. So
Yeah, it's
please.
just something I had to get over.
He runs the table and he has certain rules.
It's true.
Yeah, we didn't agree to this, but he ran it his way. So
I'm going to roll his dice, and Shark is now 4'6". So that's how he is for the rest of the game.
You really?
It's over.
Me. All right, go on. Sorry.
Don't tell me what to do.
See, it's his table.
You guys see Gil Roth Rolodex. He's collecting things into his pack, and he's hasty, although there's a wide-toothed grin as he picks up his stuff, throws it over his shoulder, and walks out into the open space of Spaceport, heading towards his single-man vessel that is going to take him out of this shithole place. He has work to go do, and it is extremely important, and there's one reason that he is able to do it. It's because you guys are letting him leave. Welcome back to Skill Check. I'm going to be your dungeon master for this following arc to Spaceport, and golly gee, I'm just so happy to be sitting in front of you guys again ever since Christmas. I feel like it's been a whole entire year. But this is going to be a little different. We're taking time in between stories, and this is very relevant to you guys as you pop out of Spaceport, walking through the turnstile back into the museum at large. You see its high ceiling, arching wood detailing, and all of the exhibits and books on the side as you see as the vested curator sort of looks at you all and kind of shoots finger guns and walks away, and the other curator walks up and says, hello again, welcome back. Excellent job, you completed the tasks that were on the ticket, and an excellent accomplishment, and first try. You know, it could have to do with your extra member, but I just wanted to give you my very genuine compliments. Very well done. Now to get to some more professional orders. Your job was done completely and done well, and thus you have earned amongst yourselves 2 titles. Now, usually, we give 1 title to one of the 6 members, but you all have 7. It's the tiebreaker title. Whenever groups get into a spat, it's usually good to have one person who breaks up the decision-making. You guys have 7, so we thought we'd just reverse it, and we'd have a tie maker as a role. This person is going to have 2 votes if you ever have to come to some sort of conclusion, and if they want to hold the idea at a stalemate, they have every right to do so, and it would be up to the rest of you to solve this issue. And considering the circumstances, usually we give offers, but Villar, we figured the time maker, would be suitable for you. He goes into his long tweed jacket and he pulls out a small name tag and he hands it to you, and it says Time Maker on it.
I'll just fasten it to my chest plate.
I mean, you don't have to wear it, but please do. Secondarily, you all have completed the first task on the cards, which was to bring back a quartermaster, and although unconventional, your decision is final, and I believe that your decision was well made. But coming up, you aren't always going to be tasked with finding new personnel as one of your main goals in each realm that you wander through, and thus we need to name a head of personnel. We figured that, we were bouncing between 2 people, and neither of them have to accept. You can foist this task onto whoever you wish, but we were thinking between Hugh, who had quite a degree of engagement with the little one Zatchit, and Shark over here, who took up the main mantle of bringing Deedee into the fold. One of you could become head of personnel.
You want it, bud?
Do you want it, bud?
What is it? What do you do with personnel?
What's the job here?
Head of personnel is going to have final say whenever you're bringing on new staff. So, sort of like the time maker or breaker, you get to make the final decision. You all this time brought a few extras back, and we can talk about that in a moment.
Can head of personnel kick people out? Just a
Conditionally, certainly.
I'll take it if you don't want it.
I want it now.
Well, how about we put Time Maker to, the grindstone and we vote on it?
I mean, there's no better time to use it. Although, considering we're missing a member of the group, Dungeon Master Drew is going to have a fun time figuring out where to make Chelsey vote, I guess.
Yeah, I want it now.
You want a headbutt for it, and whoever headbutts harder?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm down.
This is the best decision making in a group of adventurers.
I just want to say, this is the most ridiculous strength contest where you guys are hitting your heads together to figure out who should be in charge of hiring people.
This is made out of Jello.
It doesn't have to be. I can still go full gift form.
Oh, okay. Well,
Both of you guys roll an athletics check.
yeah, he's a man of honor. I know he won't jealousize on
You
me.
don't want me on athletics, brother.
Hey, let's fucking get it.
I'm leaning up against the wall. This ought to be good.
All right, what is
Just
it?
so you can check with me. I can't imagine he beats me here.
21.
24.
You guys see as they take like a 15-foot run up, and the impact of their skulls creates a crack that just echoes. And you guys think that the echo ends, and the curator starts to talk again, and you hear another way off in the distance of just a repeat. But, oh man, Hugh, you are like dizzy and you're seeing stars like crazy, and Shark just kind of stands up and you see him exhale and it's like 2 plumes of smoke out of his nose, just solid as a rock.
I'll tell you what. Since that hurt, I'll take it, but Zatchit will stay.
All right. No, that's fine. I'm good with those conditions.
And I'm gonna put it here and spit the blood that you created out of my mouth and shake your hand on
All
it.
right, and I'll just shake your hand real fucking hard.
All right, you're just taking my blood.
This is the worst case scenario that I could have imagined. In the meantime, or rather, I suppose we have some things to discuss. First, and he gestures to Deedee, and he says, "Welcome to the museum. We're delighted to have you." And she simply looks up at him and just kind of nods, and she says, "Oh, what is it exactly that I'm going to be doing while I'm working here at the museum with my new son?" And he kind of looks back and he says, "Well, you're going to be handling all of the inventory that your now co-workers bring in and require for their adventures, and a few other things." And she shrugs and looks back at you all and says, "Sounds good to me." Unless you all have anything specific that she needs to do, I'm going to send her on her way.
Goodbye, mother.
She gives you a nod and a dainty wave as she walks off, and the curator turns and says, "Freddy, show her the quartermaster's quarters." And you hear this like mechanical slam, and he goes, "Whatever." Second, you have brought an animal with you, and he points to Chelsey, who is carrying the King of the Road. We don't really have procedures for this, so we figured that we'll make him something of a service animal, unless you have something else that he should do.
Can you give him a little vest?
Yeah, I bet we could find something lying around.
I do have a question, though. Aren't, like, half of us animals?
Well, technically you're all humanoids, and you're both sentient and sapient.
So is that guy.
Yeah, you can talk.
That little dog talks to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say Stewie's been here the whole time.
That was surprisingly rude. He looks at the King of the Road and he goes, "Can you speak and think?" And the King of the Road kind of looks at him and squeaks, and he goes, "Oh, all right, well, now I need to figure out how to make this happen, but for now, I suppose he'll hop to with Deedee." And he nods towards the King of the Road, and he hops off deeper into the museum. Finally, you also brought, he looks at Zatchit, this one, which
we don't know if we have a role for him here.
Well, he's with us. You don't need to worry about babysitting him.
I very much understand, but there's a certain amount of junior curator roles, and we've already gone over one, and I don't want to set the precedent. He'll be able to join you on adventures coming forward. But while he's here, he's out of place, and so we'll send him where we send everyone who is out of place here.
Sounds a bit racist.
Well, what is that? Where are you sending him? And I agree.
Yeah.
Anywhere but hell.
We're going to be sending him to the lobby.
Are you saying that these green folk can't hang out in the back area?
It has nothing to do with his color or stature or beliefs or anything. He doesn't have a job.
Sounds like to me
Is
like
there
you're
a
sending
job
them
opening
somewhere
for
else.
stupid, uneducated idiots?
Exactly my point. No, there isn't.
Well, make one, man.
We don't have a bloodthirsty warrior opening either.
This is a magical museum, right?
And I'm not saying things won't be sorted. For now,
Do you have like a closet?
we have the lobby. And
Sounds like he's actually head of personnel because he's decided who's on the
You
team.
watch your goddamn.
he turns and
Headbutt.
he begins leading you, and he turns back to Shark and he says, I suppose we could get into deeper conversation about it, but I have some things to cover, so we'll circle back.
Okay, we'll circle back.
He walks towards the main entryway that you guys found your way into the museum, and at the front entrance that led to your home realms, he opens the door, and it opens to what looks like a war-torn copy of this foyer, except much bigger, and you see lots of people of many different types, and some of them are just kind of lazing about. Some of them look like dead on the ground, and some of them are like swinging from the ceiling, going crazy. It's a madhouse. And he goes, Zatchit, join your new family for the time being. And Zatchit kind of looks around and looks up at you, Hugh, and he goes, is this really what I'm doing?
Yep. I found you a family.
Kind of pulls his shirt down and he goes, better not disappoint. And he steps very gallantly into the lobby, and you just see some random person fly from out of view, land on top of Zatchit, and just stab him in the chest, and get up and walk away. And the curator looks at you all, and he goes, give it a minute. And Zatchit sits up
Oh fuck.
and looks down at his chest, and you see the wound closing.
No.
And he says, anyone who steps into the lobby remains in the state that they walk in
I
until
run in and I swing my axe at his head.
you absolutely decapitate Zatchit.
Oh my god!
And it like bounces off of the walls and the ceiling and then back onto his head spot. And he's like, oh, that was horrifying. And the curator says, we'll find a place for him, but for now, the lobby is the best that we can do.
I hate this place.
Oh, poor boy.
I attacked the curator. No, I'm just kidding.
The curator does fucking Naruto moves at you and explode.
This DM is different.
I know, right? This guy's crazy. This guy's unhinged. The curator closes the door and he says, right, most business is done. I just need to take your belongings that you found on your travels, both to the North Pole and from Spaceport, and get them sent over to Deedee for categorizing. And then, whenever you all go on your next adventure, they'll be available to you in some amount or number. I knew he had more.
We had the right to bear arms. So there's no reason to take them away.
This is the museum. And he turns and walks away. We're going to move away from the museum unless you guys want to do anything while we're in this moment that you have just re-entered the museum.
I would like to walk up to this funny little goofy curator and straighten my tie.
Okay.
Say, you can't handle the truth.
All right, certainly. What's the roll, my friend? And you have to set the
Anybody
DC
who
as well.
Witnesses, it's a wisdom saving throw versus my intimidation check.
That's probably all of us, right?
Yeah.
Yep, it'll hit all of you.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go.
That's not good.
Oh. Wisdom, you said?
Yeah. Everybody's gonna pass. I rolled a fucking 5.
Oh, I did pass. I rolled a 6.
Let's go!
17.
Is anyone forced to tell the truth?
No.
I rolled a 20.
But you don't know that.
Stewie isn't either. The curator looks at you and says,
Yeah, what? What? Why?
All right, I might not know if you're lying or not, but why are we here?
Ah, an excellent question. I actually was planning on talking through a lot of these things with you all, but I have things I need to address right now. But I have a task coming up in a few days or so that I was going to re-meet with you all, and we could cover any of the details. Is that suitable?
Good enough for me. I waited this long.
Did we already hand over the items? I had an ADHD moment.
Your belongings?
Yeah.
The curator asked for them, and I guess he just walked away. He'll ask to take them from you guys.
Okay. I'm going to walk over to Villar in a second. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail that conversation.
Are you giving them all the stuff, or are you keeping some?
Please, let me do this. Carl.
Okay, do the thing. What are you doing? Go do it. We believe in you.
Villar, listen, I have an ability that'll help us keep one of these items. I was wondering if you could hand me that blaster I gave you earlier.
You asked him out of everyone.
I gave it to him. It's technically mine.
This is a trust-building exercise taking place in front of our very eyes.
I can see the moral dilemma here.
Is the curator watching us?
He's not like looking directly at you two. I'd say that he's like with Seven, and he's kind of like very puzzled by him, and so you guys have a moment to yourselves.
So I think I will, like, in an attempt to be stealthy, like, kind of like shuffle over.
Sure.
As stealthily as a massive person can.
Good.
Kind of like hold it behind my back to him.
Go ahead
And I
and
just fucking cling it to myself.
very good. Roll sleight of hand with advantage because of cling.
I'm talking to the curator. So yeah, I apologize for measuring her horn, but she was into it. You got it. I gave her a picture of myself.
Are you feeling okay?
Yes.
What do you?
Well, it's a 13.
He kind of looks at you, and you can tell that he's like, he almost looks past you. And then he's like, interesting. I figure that after a night's rest, he'll be back to normal, but this is information about him that is very useful. What was your roll?
13.
Okay, you... And it kind of impacts your back with more force than you expect. You kind of jolt forward, and the curator looks at you and looks
I'll just
back.
start like patting his back like he hit a run.
Excellent.
He starts coughing.
Guys, please. Anyway, so it was me as a calculator.
He goes around and he's asking for items. Did you want to say something before he finishes up?
Question for you, because you found it interesting about our broken robot friend over here.
Yes.
Or improved robot friend. Is there a way moving forward? Do you know anybody out in this vast universe that sells maybe like modules or packs we can put in them to change his voice?
Well, that's quite a specific and odd question. I imagine it's possible that on your travels you might find something like this. That's great to know. I could search some of the deeper archives of the museum, but I'm not sure if we have anything too specific to him.
Okay, yeah, you get back to me on that.
If you do, look for things that are like good for ASMR.
Oh, yeah. Or like Spanish.
Right.
Yeah, ASMR.
All right, sorry, you were...
He turns to Foray and he starts collecting the items. I'm assuming you guys are giving most of them, except for the blaster that you're hiding, to him to get to Deedee to
I
organize.
start to give the blasters, and then I start doing like revolver ocelot tricks with them. I'm like, fine, here you go.
He takes them, he looks at you, and he looks at them, and then he does a bunch of them back to you, and then he puts them into like a pack, and he goes, "That was excellent."
I can do better. Give them back. Yeah. I do even better than he just did. Oh, crazy.
Oh, fuck.
There you go.
Wow, I hope to be like you someday. And he puts them into his pack.
Thanks.
Foray,
Yep.
you're missing one blaster.
Oh no, I threw that in the ship. It's
Missing your
back in Spaceport.
He pulls open his jacket and pulls out a small leather notebook, and he flips through, and he says, "No, it says that you brought back 6. I only have 5 with me. And you're the only one who is heavier than when you were here before."
You're on your own, buddy.
That's crazy that you would insult such a man like that. That's
If you're attempting to keep the blaster for yourself, your instincts are sharp and correct, but I do need to notate it. And I will give them back to you at some point.
You just hear a blunk. Jesus Christ. It's raining blasters over here.
What a shame.
There you go.
He takes it and he puts it away and he says, "I will meet you when we organize for that further task."
That's great.
He walks away, and you can kind of hear him under his breath. He's like, "Frickin' adventurers doing this type of shit."
The other curator would have let you keep the blaster.
1,000%.
He's omniscient, I think. Anything that happens in the museum, he knows it.
It just, it's interesting. I don't know what ability that is. No, I want it.
That's true. If only he was bound by Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We're gonna move away from the museum for a little bit and move to sort of an in-between system that we have worked on for a little while. This is something called synergy, and it's gonna give you guys some opportunities to have your characters get to know each other better, but also to build up sort of like combo moves that you wanna make between your guys. And I have the system rules. I'm gonna put them into the Discord in just a second, but the general concept is that in between story arcs, you get one person that you pick to spend a free time together with, and this can mean like finding a place in the museum or doing a callback to the location that you guys were just at, in this case, Spaceport, that we can zoom in more on like a character moment. So let's say you were like, oh, I kind of wanted to talk to Seven when we were in the Druid Grove. You can take that moment and like ask him a question, have a little dialogue, and then at the end, you're gonna be rewarded. And between two characters, there's gonna be 3 potential points of synergy. When you make one after one free time, you get a minor ability that's like a combo move. And then after your third, you get like an ultimate that is shared between the two of you. I want you guys to think right now, if you have anyone gut feeling that you want to spend a free time with, go for it, and you can tell me where, if it's in the museum, if it's back in Spaceport, and we can do like a little scene. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It's just an opportunity to kind of dig in, try to open people up a little. Who's got the first idea? Who has the first plan?
I think mine's kind of easy. I'd say Shark. You remember when you hit that guy with an axe?
I loved that time, yeah.
What if I was on the end of that axe?
This is out of character for a second. If you let me talk first, I was going to say the same fucking thing. I was picturing some sort of way. All right, wait, back in character. I'm thinking the same fucking thing. I'm thinking, what if
you have to break character?
Just because it was so incredible.
I was so crazy. Yeah, pretend I
We
did
just
it.
become best friends?
I was picturing it in a way like, that guy's too far. I have that problem a lot. People are too far for me to hit. But what if you're there?
Oh, and it's like
And
a
I-
go-go gadget.
Yeah. Like I go to, because I already have, I'm a bugbear, I got long arms. So if I go and then I've got extra you goo, it's like a morning star.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That's a good combo move. I like that.
So
we should do that.
maybe you guys take some time in the museum between when the curator comes back to you and you find like a combat exhibit and you start practicing this move with each other. Is there anything else that you guys would talk about while practicing this? Like maybe about your racism problem or your dead mother?
Yeah, I'm a pretty emotional guy, and I've started noticing. I'm 2 things, you're 2 things. We're the same.
Yeah,
So I'm sure people have been racist to you before.
No, I've never experienced any racism.
It's not fun.
I can imagine it wouldn't be. I've heard bad things about that old racism.
Yeah, I really don't like racism, and I need to drive that point home that I hate it.
I think I'm reading it loud and clear, but I'm also an empath, so
Yeah, no, I
might pick
could
up on
tell.
more than most.
I really could tell you were, because when I was talking about it with the javelin, I looked over and I saw a little tear coming out of your eye.
Yeah, they sometimes just sneak out.
I knew you were there for me.
So I'm not much of an emotional guy. I was thinking of cool names for our move. What about Stretch Strong Arm?
I was thinking strong stretch arm, so let's.
Okay.
What about
do you
the
like?
anti-racism arm cannon?
I'm the anti-racism and you're the arm cannon.
Wait a minute, you're totally right.
This is perfect. All right, the anti-racism arm cannon. Thanks for joining us here, Valor.
That was your conscience speaking.
Yeah.
God.
He's here.
Excellent. You guys, so what I usually say is I'll say that you guys can mark synergy. And what that can mean is that somewhere on your character sheets, if you want to mark it somewhere, just say that you have 1 synergy point with each other. So Shark, you would write 1 synergy with Hugh, and Hugh, you'd say 1 synergy with Shark. And your free times, although I absolutely love this interaction, it was the best thing I've ever seen, your free times don't necessarily have to be about your guys' combo move.
It could be that you just want to talk about something, and you don't even have to decide on what the combo move is. Usually between games, I would go to my players and I'd say, hey, you spent free time with Shark. Let's talk about what you guys might be able to do together. But you guys fucking crushed it on your first try, so A+, S+.
Hey, thanks.
Anybody else have any ideas for free time? And you can double up. Like if everyone wanted to spend free time with Shark, you could. Just go for it. Do what your heart tells you.
I'm gonna go to 7.
Okay.
That's super 7.
Oh yeah, super 7. So I saw you do that like transforming thing, and I was just thinking, if you could fly, I could cling to you and we could both fly.
You might be cooking something, Captain.
I wasn't ready for the super 7. I'm never ready
7,
for it.
you still feel like a superhero, but it's definitely like coming down from a high. It's like half the time you're like, yeah, I'm still super, and then you're like, whoa, what is happening? But it's like coming and going every once in a while at this point.
Do you know what like a flying Leopleurodon looks like?
The classic? Absolutely. I've seen many of them in my travels.
So I was thinking, why don't we test it now? We have all this free time, might as well.
I'm not sure if I can fly yet, to be honest with you. I don't know if my wild shape is there yet.
He can't, but someday.
Okay,
You can practice.
keep that in the lock. You got something good there. Keep that where it is.
And then your conscience, that sounds a lot like Shark goes, there's somebody else on the team made of metal that can fly.
That's true. And then
He's already spent his free time.
Yeah.
he ruined his free
Zero synergy.
Yeah, you guys failed.
I was thinking like Ratchet and Clank.
No, I am fully on board for
But
this.
you have to understand that I become the backpack in that scenario.
Yeah.
And you can just hold on to him.
Yeah.
Which is totally doable. But yeah, I mean, what do I do now?
Is there any other like?
You know,
Roll a dice.
you know, I've been wondering. Talked to a pretty dragon just a little bit ago, and I've been wondering. Tell me a little bit about your wife. What's she like? Like, what are dragons like? You know, we're like romantically.
This is exactly what I was hoping for.
Asking for a friend, obviously.
Hemp walks up just like in earshot. He's like, I guess I'm the friend, man.
Yeah. I was asking for him.
I've been wondering.
You just see like 1,000-yard stare. Just you through my sunglasses. You just you can feel it, and I just go. Imagine fighting for your life and fighting for love all at once, and you just sit there and you don't know why you keep coming back, but you do.
Fuck, that sounds exciting.
Well, yeah, maybe you're not allowed to leave. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you're just happy to be there. Where are you?
Heavy shit, man. Much to think about.
She's over 3,000 pounds.
Oh. I don't feel like that was relevant to like the question. But I appreciate you sharing, man. That's big of you.
Well, you said heavy shit. She does.
Heavy shit.
I am going to turn to dust.
It's all over. I'll tell you. God. Being 3,000 pounds, she does defecate quite a bit.
What?
I was also on topic.
Yeah. No, I mean he said heavy,
Heavy
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
It was on.
Now Bore is the one being hyper literal. Oh, how the turntable.
How the turn.
Excellent. If you guys would like to mark synergy on
Yeah.
your character
Yeah,
sheet,
hey. Good talk, man. Let's catch up again
I
sometime.
fucking love it.
Aaron shitting dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking hyped now.
All right.
He has a permanent morale boost.
You're the last two who have synergy or have free time. If you'd like, you can take it with each other or anybody else except Chelsey, I guess.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think Valar could seek out help as maybe help with my prophecy, because I don't know what's happening to me, so maybe I can talk to Hemp about that a little bit.
Sure.
I'll like pull Hemp aside, we can go into like, it doesn't really matter, another room, and be like,
Hey, this is crazy. You've never been one-on-one with anyone.
I'll be like, Hemp, I need your help.
Whoa, that was 4 words. That was 5 words, counting my name. What's good?
You are this party's arcane master, are you not?
Yes. I like to think.
There are weird things happening to me.
What do you mean?
Back on the moon, that moment when all hell broke loose, I've been there before.
Oh. Well, give me 1 second. Can I do an Arcana check to see if maybe it's art illusion magic or something else?
I love that.
That is a 16.
You take a step back and you have this idea of Valar in your head, but it kind of falls away as you look at him more of a subject to study. And you take in aspects of him that you haven't before, things like the angles of his armor and how he's standing when he's comfortable, although he looks a bit nervous, and you start to work on, incantations and things that would let you see more about him than the average person. And you don't get any negative magic or any spell that's on him, but he is juiced up. He is chock full of magic energy, which is not usual for people.
Okay. I'm like, well, the way you're standing, man, I can tell you're always stressed. You're always at attention. You got it. You're not really loose anymore. I don't know if that was something you were before I met you, but you're always ready. You're always ready for combat or something like that. And I can tell you were just brimming with some sort of magical energy. I don't know if it's one you can utilize or one you understand, but there's certainly something going on inside you.
What an eloquent master.
It's not just any illusion. This is something far deeper than this. I would say it even maybe goes beyond universes. If there's deities or anything, it may be some work of them. I can't work that. But I might be able to help you learn more.
That would be much appreciated.
Okay. Because I can run through these books mighty quickly. I can after this I can go to the library if there is one here, and I can just start fucking burning through them, see if I learn anything about it. Do you remember what the name of your god was?
Nope.
God damn.
That's okay.
Let me
This
research
is
in my memories.
this
for
is a
1
Dungeons and
second.
Dragons classic. Danny doesn't remember, but Valar does.
It is Exo.
Exo.
Also, the way you said okay when he said that would be much appreciated was like the elementary school nurse when you say, I threw up. And she's like, okay. Yeah, it's okay, honey.
All right. Well, I will see about that, and I will check him. I'm writing the notes as him. I'm like, all right, yep, I will check that out. And then after a couple seconds of writing, all I have written is exo ... god. And then I'll be like, I'll find something about that. But I'll definitely look into it for you.
Thank you, hon.
Thank you for talking and being so open with me so much.
The two of you can mark synergy for each other.
Can I kick in the door at the end? Because I heard you guys talking about your researching his god for him.
Where's the synergy at?
It's not going to be on the sheet. This is a system that Ryan and I crafted together. So just put it somewhere that you're going to remember where it is.
It's going to be like, hey, Hemp, are you looking up gods?
I could certainly look at a few more if I'm on the subject. I'll be in that section of the library, I suppose.
Yeah, could you just look at... I'm starting to get funny feelings from mine. I want to make
Christian
sure.
God? Are you Christian God?
No, just... I don't know what
You're from hell, right?
Yeah.
Well, so Christian God usually is the one that everyone there usually has some version, but hell itself, that one's... Are you in Helheim?
No, just hell. Just straight hell.
Christian God usually for that, but I'll do whatever you
Is the
say.
religion master.
Yeah, no, I don't really like Christianity being down there. I'm seeing some bad stuff.
Yeah, definitely agree on that. I've done my
Not
research on
everybody,
quite-
just some of them.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research on those sorts of things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so mine's more, I don't know that she's a god as much as like,
Oh,
I call her an arbiter.
her. Okay.
Yeah, Judge Judy. Judith.
Oh, no, I read up on her. She's fire. She's great.
Yeah, she's been really good so far, but I just want to make sure that, I just want to get a little check in there and make sure it's all
Are you
checking
worried she's not okay, or are you worried that something may be going on with her?
out.
Or
Like
what?
something might be going on. I'm
Good.
not always the smartest.
Yeah.
I don't want to get taken advantage of by her.
Okay. You're a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a contract with her? Oh, okay. Well,
I didn't know I
Get it in
did.
writing. That is the first thing I'd recommend.
What should I get in writing?
Just like the contract between the two of you, you know, what you're doing for her and everything.
I don't really know what we do for each other. She just talks to me sometimes.
Okay, well, that's divine. I'm happy for you that she's so selected, but I'll look in.
Yeah, no, you're making me. I got a lot to think
Yeah,
about.
I would. Can you talk to her, or she just talk to you?
You're making me think about some more now.
Yeah, I think you got to get in
How
touch
about that?
with
Yeah,
her.
how about I go do some stuff and then I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll see you. Hey, get her to settle. Don't take it to trial. You don't want that. She's got
Never.
way more
Never
resources.
go.
Way more.
I
If you take
agree.
it to trial, it's going to drag out. You're never going to win there.
Although Gorgon and Gorgon has a lot of resources, so
Jake, you're damn right. I forgot about that. You know, you've been telling me.
You guys walk out of this dark corner of the museum that Valar, you had pulled Hemp into to ask questions, and you guys walk off sort of talking about law and what he should and shouldn't do. Valar, you hang back for just a half minute thinking about what he said, and when you turn up to look at the doorway, it leads somewhere else. A bar, familiar to you, although it's really different. The chairs are stacked up and the piano cover is on, and you see the bartender in there sweeping the floor, and he looks through the doorway at you and he gestures you to come in.
I'll walk in.
You take a step in and it smells like old burnt cigarettes, but when you pass the threshold, you also see that surrounding you are a host of weapons. And this person looks at you and he says, "Nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, but you're doing exactly as we agreed. And I figure the people at the museum, well, they're not going to have much for you. They weren't prepping for you, but if you'd like," and he gestures, "you may take one of these. Pick one that speaks to you." And he continues back to his work.
What are my options?
You see an almost countless amount of swords and weapons of different types, but the swords definitely speak the most. But each one that you pick up, the heft feels weird and the balance is off. It's like they were all made for other people. And you kind of get to the end of the collection. You spend like an hour in here looking through swords, and none of them really is great. Until you get to the last section, you reach out for an axe, just hoping, and you kick what is like a metal mesh wastebasket. And you look down and you see a sword that's in two pieces, that's just thrown away and discarded. But you look at it and you're like, that looks like it could do some good.
Yeah, I'll pick, like, when you say two pieces, is it like hilt and blade, or is it like down the middle?
So it's kind of down the middle, except it's jagged. It's like if someone had slammed it against a hard object, and the hilt comes up, then the crossguard, and there's some blade, but it cuts off at an angle, and then the rest of it is in one solid piece. Although it looks old and frail, but you pick it up and you're like, oh yeah. I mean, all these swords are put together, but this one's yours.
All right, so I'll pick it up in its pieces, and I'll, I guess, approach the bartender and be like, "This is the one, but can you fix it?"
He looks away from his work and over his shoulder at you, and he goes, "Really? There's one broken sword. Okay, well, you can take it. I can't fix it right now. Maybe you'll find a way to fix it coming up, but if that's the one that you want, you can take it. These aren't suitable to you."
No, this is the one.
You're one unique guy, Valar. All right, well, till next time then. And he opens the door for you back to the museum.
Is this, if I just like hang it on my waist guard, is it gonna bring attention to the curator? Do I need to like be...
When you head towards the exit door, there is a sheath that fits the two pieces leaning at the exit.
Perfect. All right. Take it and leave.
You walk back into the museum and you rejoin your compatriots. And for the next 2 days, you guys have nothing to do but to bum around, hang out. And if you guys want to do anything in that time, feel free to go for it. But it's going to be 2 days until the curator comes to you with that special task that he's going to ask you all help for, and that you can discuss those questions that you had earlier. Is there anything else that interests you guys about the museum?
I'm gonna start looking through my pack at old things that I have from perhaps my home world that came with me, and I look through and I realize that I'm missing something. I'm like, what the? And I'm gonna go up to can we still talk to the curator?
Yeah.
Is he still here? I'm like,
He's working. He doesn't have any time to commit to like, I'm gonna do a thing with you, but you know, he's available.
I'm gonna go up and him's gonna walk up and talk to him and be like, hey man, there's this thing that I brought. It was definitely in my pack. I remember looking at it before I was brought here, but I know I had it with me.
Right.
I can't find it now. It was a gift from a friend, so it means a lot to me. I know it wasn't at Spaceport. I was wondering if maybe I left it here when I fell out. Maybe it came out of my bag or something.
It's possible. Do you have any description of this thing? Is it part of one of your tomes?
It's extremely powerful. It was this deck of 13 cards that I had that me and my friend created. It can be very useful.
It's possible that Freddy might have picked it up and put it into an organization pile before he left. I'll inquire with him and also look through some of our sorting baskets, see if they turn up somewhere.
Thank you.
Of course. This is not devious at all. I love
Notice I said 13, not 22.
Yeah, exactly. 13's better.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to do in the museum? Then, after 2 days of bumming around, chilling in the museum, the curator finds the group of you and says,
Yes, finally. My to-do list has made it back to you all, and right on time. If you'd like to join me.
and he begins leading you deeper into the museum. And you guys have walked through these corridors before, but you're walking much longer, and as you're getting further from what feels like the central point of the museum, things get more esoteric. You see as ceilings just start going up forever, and the further and further you get, you even look through windows at other exhibits, and they're just like, it's like a full swamp with sky, and it just goes on forever. And you end up walking basically like what feels like outside, and you just see different like biomes around you as you walk through the halls. Before he leads you to a space that is an open field with loads of food growing off of hedges and trees, and he says,
whatever you want to pick, please take it. And he hands out baskets to each of you. We need to start providing food for ourselves, or rather for you all, and we're short on hands. So get to work and we can talk while we collect our things.
What is it?
if you can think of the food, buddy, it's here. Wow. It's gonna be mostly natural ingredients, but if you're dying for a corn dog,
Yeah, I'm pulling hot dogs off the
yeah,
bush.
you can find something.
I've got a basket of hot dogs.
Perfect. Any of you guys, like, what else do you guys pick? What are you looking for in the hedgeroom?
I'm reaching up towards a plant. I'm like, oh, this one is perfect. And I pull it down. It's a can of WD-40. And I put it in.
Excellent.
It's like Willy Wonka's factory.
Yeah, just
I love it.
anything else?
I'm gonna reach up and I'm gonna grab an apple, but it's green. I'm like, oh, I've never had one of these before.
I'm also going to
backpack.
run back to the middle. I've got my hot dog basket on their shoulder, and I've got a big handful of dirt. I'm going to be like, Hugh, I found your favorite. And I'm going to drop it at your feet. There's a bunch of worms in it.
And then I reach up and I get an artisanal bowl of acai, beautifully prepared. It's like, this is what I actually like to eat.
I'm going to slurp a worm. I'm like, okay.
A lot of this stuff that you guys are picking aren't.
Conning his character for
Yeah.
4 weeks
I mean,
ago.
at the time, it was what is the most meaningful dish.
That's true. It
Yeah,
was
it
an
was
emotional
an emotional moment.
It's here that we find out that Hugh has chronic pica, the desire to eat non-edible things.
Hated every second of it when you used to eat it as a child. Hate this.
Yeah. Anything else that you guys are specific about? A lot of the things that you're finding, like, you're not finding full hot dogs and buns. It's like you're finding roasted meat, and you can hot dog shape it, kind of.
okay.
It's not a lot of cooked things. It's all like raw cooking material.
I come back eating a bowl of fried rice, and I'm like, I just found a fried rice
No,
tree over there.
no, there's no fried rice tree. I'm sorry.
I
know
really
Deedee.
look at the curator after he told me there's no hot dogs and be like, what the fuck?
Sorry, I made that for him. I put it on the floor near a tree just because I thought he'd like it.
I nature check it.
Yeah.
That's a 21, and I realized that you made it.
Yeah,
but
no,
I'm
he
like,
fucking cooked it.
But I'm like, but it's nice anyway. I don't want you to have to go through the trouble of making everybody something.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
exactly.
There's a fried rice tree,
Oh,
guys.
yeah, for sure. For anything specific that you find?
I'm looking for hardtack.
You don't find anything that's hardtack, but you do find like water and flour and salt, which is weird.
Brother, we're mixing it.
You guys start grabbing everything and taking your things back to the curator, and he looks at you all and he says, before we get into any deeper questioning, we are going to be cooking this, and this brings up a point, is that on your next adventure, we are looking to install a chef here, a cook, someone who can make food for you all. Now, my understanding of where you're going to be going is maybe not the best place to make this decision, but we are at an absence of options, so chef for next adventure. And it won't be on one of your cards. They're going to be normal, for lack of a better term. Last time we put them on the card just to make sure that you would come back with a quartermaster because the desperation was extreme, but this time that's going to be, well, your task specifically to find someone to take up the mantle of chef. All right, let's get cooking. And you guys begin cooking food for each other with all the things that you found. And if you would like to interrogate the curator at this moment, you are most free to.
You said it's been 2 days?
Yep.
I straighten my tie and say you can't.
Excellent. Let's
Oh
go
wait,
for
that's
it.
per game session, not
Yeah.
day. No.
Yeah, let's fucking roll again.
Except this
Fine.
once.
Let's see it. I rolled a 1.
God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely saying so.
It turns out every single person can handle the truth.
What did you roll?
8.
Oh, nice. I got an 11.
I got a 1, so.
19.
Good.
19
And I
as
got
well.
an 8. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Tie goes to roller, which would be you
no.
because you're making the save. So you're the only person. Oh, I have to check for student. She succeeds. with an 8 plus whatever, it doesn't matter. You are. You must speak truth if you are speaking to him or if he asks you questions.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this to you, little buddy. We'll just try again.
I wear my heart on the sleeve.
I
man.
know
would've
you
said
do.
it anyways.
I know you're not hiding anything from me, so I'll just move on.
I can't help but feel like there is some degree of suspicion between not only you but this group and myself and the other curator.
Well, you never really told us why us. Why'd you choose us?
Exactly
Popped out
correct.
of thin air.
Yes, exactly why I got this task for you all. Here at the museum, things are very important. More important than they physically can be where you all are from. If you would imagine, the places that you all inhabit regularly, let's consider them realms. Well, each of them coexists in one unified piece, but they're not interconnected, at least not in meaningful ways usually. Sometimes these connections will spring up randomly, or they can be generated artificially by people within the realm, but it's extremely few and far between. The museum rests outside of these realms. It watches over is maybe a bit presumptuous, but it keeps track. It organizes. It also ensures that there's a degree of randomness to them. But most specifically, it ensures that the destinies of these realms are uninhibited by ne'er-do-wells. Something that you all did in your trip to Spaceport is ensure that Gilroth Rolodex was safe and that his quest to leave Spaceport was successful. This is because it's something that is meant to occur. Not that it always would, but it should. And something was in the way that works against average convention. And you all solved that problem. So, without understating your impact, you have very realistically saved that world from whatever negativity would come of the failure for him to do so.
So what's this museum then?
The museum acts as a sort of insurance policy for these realms. It makes sure that none of them clash too heavily or stray off their path. It's a way to ensure every realm is the way that it should be.
How do you know how it should be?
It sounds woke.
No.
It's a bit assumptive, I would say, but I was created when the museum comes into presence, and something that you learn very quickly here, once you have thousands of years to meander the halls, is that this is far from the first museum that's existed. There are portraits of adventuring groups that have been plucked from their times in space as well. They're hung up in a row. If you'd like, you can look at them, but their success in the past ensures that this museum exists. And so again, when you all complete your duties, or so I hope.
I'm gonna go look at those portraits.
Sure, he'll lead them to you after you finish doing your cooking.
Who made the museum?
That is an excellent question. I'm not really sure it's a person or even something that can think. I think the museum springs up sort of as a necessity. It exists because it must. I know that may be hard to agree with, but it's the way that it is.
What about you then? Who appointed you as God, the ruler?
Well, I'm far from a god or a ruler. I merely follow the museum's whims, and I act as a sort of face that you all can speak to understand things. I figure if the museum was created out of spontaneity and necessity, then I was done the same by the museum.
Oh,
Sack of shit.
he doesn't have a mom or a dad.
Very correct.
He is the museum. He's created at the same time.
It's less that I am the museum, but I'm a working part of it.
I start stomping on the tiles, but that doesn't feel too good, does it?
Stop hurting him. Sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
ow!
See, I told you. No, he's the museum.
Very wrong.
So I didn't have a mother, and I know it hurts.
Here we go. Sure.
So you met Deedee, my lovely mother.
I
She's
have.
my new mother.
Fucking
Excellent.
wife.
I'm gonna make you an offer that I'm only gonna make this once.
All right.
I will be your father, if you'd like me to be.
I feel like this is a bit of a power play.
No, there should be no power plays in family.
All right. Look, this is getting a little. He kind of thinks for a second.
I drew up the contract if you want to sign. I'm in a turn.
When did you have the time to do that?
I had 2 days to do nothing.
What does the contract look like?
So there's a little gold ribbon at the top that says "Son!" exclamation point.
Good.
And it really all it says is, yeah.
Perfect.
It just says I'll be your dad. Play catch together.
How about this?
Okay.
He picks up the contract and he rolls it and he puts it into his jacket and he says, "I'll talk with the curator about this."
Always wanted twins.
And
Well, I want to be his dad.
He's the museum.
At this point, I want the other one.
Oh, okay.
we'll discuss whether this is something that is even appropriate to happen while you are under, employment here. It would be strange for me to try and demote or fire you if you're my father. I feel like that would
I'm
be
so
strange.
proud of my son being so successful.
All right, don't go there that quickly. Paper is unsigned.
Yeah, you get back to me,
There
son.
wasn't even a soft launch or anything. Just right into it.
It's just no soft launch.
Is there a museum HR department?
I think it's me.
You are HR.
And I'm okay with this.
Perfect. How could that ever go wrong?
You get back to me.
Any non-adoptive family related questions?
My hardtack's done.
You got any cool spells?
Hence, we need the chef. Magic is an interesting topic here because I don't really know if what I do is magic, but I walk the halls and I organize things. Not a lot of shooting flames out of my mouth.
Legitimately all physical things you described, but I'm sure you know some magic. There's probably some hidden here.
I figure if I needed magic, I would cast it.
Yeah, I figure you could. You seem pretty omnipotent.
But I often don't need magic, so I don't.
This guy's really upsetting me. He's a mouse droid, but he does a lot more than that.
Have you ever been to the lobby?
I have been to the lobby many times.
Okay, I just wanted to check. That place seemed kind of crazy, and I wanted to make sure someone could get out.
It certainly is, and people do leave, but only once there's a place for them somewhere.
Like a closet for Zatchit. These tasks.
Right.
Who gives you the tasks, and how do we know they're good tasks? Like, walk me through the process, the pipeline, if you will.
Well, it's often that it's not like, a paper falls from the ceiling, but I'll look at the museum and I'll recognize some shelves are disorganized and I'll put them together, or an exhibit has missing pieces, which is when I acquire you all and send you out to do your duties. The museum makes clear to me what...
Oh, wow. That was magic.
That was
The museum
crazy.
makes clear to me what needs to occur for things to run smoothly. I am genuinely sorry the answer isn't more exciting. I'm sure if the curator were here, he'd tell you something different, like, a wall is in a place it shouldn't be, so I'll knock it over, or something.
I told you. See, he's acknowledging that he's not the curator. He's the museum. The other guy's the curator.
Well, no.
He said if the curator was here.
I mean, he's the curator and I'm the curator.
No, you're the museum.
Far be it from me to tell a coworker what to call me.
Yeah, please don't question my son like that.
It was more of a
Moving very fast.
I don't have any other questions.
I wanted to sort of meet you at the pass. After all of your task doing is over, once the museum is set up and no longer requires junior curators, you will be promoted to the point that you will return back to your home realms. Not only back, but in the exact moment that you left. You'll have missed nothing. But you will have gained the expertise and the capability that you've grown in your time here and whatever realms that you've traveled to. So I don't want you to be overly worried about leaving something behind, other than the fact that at some point you all will have to say goodbye to each other.
Mr. Museum.
Please don't call me that.
Mr. Shark's son.
Thank you.
Is there any way we could return like 3,000 years later?
Would you like to return back to your home realm after 3,000 years had passed, leaving everyone that you know and love behind?
Look, love's a strange thing.
His wife is fat.
She's dense.
You know what? I'm usually one who sticks to the plan and follows the rules, but I'll talk to the curator and to Freddy as well. I feel like he may be able to work on this with us.
So how far does your omnipotence go? Do you know where my dad's at?
Well, no. The thing is that contained within the museum are all of these realms. And in fact, he looks around at the open field that you guys are picking fruit and stuff from, and he says, this is actually one of our exhibits. It's just that this realm is stable. It's never going to need any finagling by us or by you, and so the exhibit is more full. It's more reminiscent of its original place, and other exhibits, like Spaceport, were more, I guess you could say, museum-y, in that they're not as full and need some help, which is why you guys get sent. And my set of information sort of stops there. It stops at what the exhibit has to show. It's why we send you all in to get more information. As for your father specifically, I don't know any of the details, but there are many books and exhibits here, and if you would like to search, far be it from me to stop you.
No, I'm fine.
That's the wrong answer. You're asking the wrong questions. Question is, why haven't we taken the museum and expanded it everywhere? Make everything the museum and you'll know everything about it.
I think assuming that the museum has an end is probably something that's holding you back from understanding the museum more.
I was thinking the same thing.
You gotta expand your mind for
You guys just missed what I said completely. I said, take the museum, make it bigger. He said he doesn't know about your dad. Blah, 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 not in the museum. Put your dad in the museum by covering everything.
No,
Colonization.
Information. Don't know what that has to do with anything. Information on your father is within the museum somewhere. It just takes finding.
He didn't say that the first time.
Is colonizing racist?
Not inherently.
More or less. I think it actually typically leans that way, more than likely.
There are some that would say that owning anything is racist.
Now, if we were to colonize and he just threw everybody in the lobby, yes, it would be inherently racist.
But he threw everybody in the lobby without prejudice.
We're going back, well, but we're not.
No,
there.
I threw them in the lobby with extreme prejudice.
Racist.
They are in there because they have no role or task to fulfill
Racist.
within the museum.
I'm going to the library later. Do you want me to help you find your dad or something?
No, it's all right.
Oh, you really? That was a quick change up.
Well, he knew. I'm not going to read it.
That was very...
A matter of convenience, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's very convenient if he tells me.
If you'd like, I could go to the library and try and find anything and then make it convenient.
Yeah, that sounds good actually. If you do
Do
that.
they follow like the Dewey Decimal System? Like, how do we find a book? I'd like to learn about racism.
Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master Drew will say to you that
That's the. You almost said the. Okay.
you will be able to find a sorting system, but they don't use the Dewey Decimal System. But there is a system.
God, that shit sucks.
There is a system that they use that you can understand and you can search for things if you would like.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like.
There
to,
is an immense quantity of information here, so the amount of time it'll take will vary, but there is stuff here for you to find.
Do you guys want to go to the library?
That could be cool. And then can I roll an Arcana check to see if I remember a spell?
Sure.
One of my old spells. from
What
my
spell?
home. That's a secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the Dungeon Master? Maybe I'll tell you the spell.
It's true. We could also talk about it later
Yeah,
if you wanted to. 26.
Can we just do that? Can I roll to see if I know a spell?
Yeah, I roll to know a spell.
Can I roll to see if
I'm
I used to
actually
be a
level
great
20.
wizard?
Yeah.
Oh, I am. That's weird.
I rolled to
First
see
of
if
all,
I
there's no
was.
shot you rolled that well. Let's be real.
I rolled a 19.
I was a 19.
Every roll is 18 plus mod. Yeah, I mean, you're a smart guy and things are coming back to you as you work on things. I think that not only could you remember spells, but I think with enough. It's not that you just remember instantly and you're like, boom, I can cast Death Ray. It's more like I understand what the spell is. I know that the museum probably has it.
Yeah,
and
and
I'll
the
go find
nuance
it.
back a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And I go, oh, Lord.
I've seen this before.
I just remembered a spell. Is that what you thought
It's
it
a
was?
brain blast, yes.
Yeah, oh,
I've seen
Lord.
this many times.
Fuck, man, that hurt. Oh, shit. I just relearned to spell, I think.
Brain power hurts.
It's just an aneurysm.
Oh, Lord.
Freddy does this every once in a while, but less, fleshy.
Yeah, it was a doozy. I'm telling
Easy
you
to
what.
recognize.
It was good.
know who the fuck Freddy is.
Oh no.
No, you don't know me either.
Wasn't it the finger food guy?
No, he was the guy at the start. He told us not to think about Freddy.
Yeah, because he gets annoying. He like follows you around.
Yeah, they don't like Freddy here.
There's a
Freddy
reason we don't know
the
about
big
Freddy.
metal
Oh, he's like
Yeah,
their
yeah.
Zatchit.
Yeah, it's like there's that.
That makes sense now. Yep.
I meant yes.
We did.
We know. Yep. I did too. I didn't even ask you that. Oh. So you learned something.
Yeah, oh, man.
Oh,
I'm coming down. I think I'm good now.
I'm glad to hear it. You guys want to do some research in the library, or
Be cool.
does that sound boring?
No, I'd like to make sure I got this thing down pat, and I'm going to find out about his dad anyways, because sounds cool.
Yeah, sure. You guys all collect your things from your miniature cookout with the curator, and you begin heading back toward the more central area of the museum. And as you do, before rounding a corner, you get this smell of like burnt hair and sulfur. And the curator who's with you says, "Oh, no."
Oh, curator, hello, I'm bringing you a gift.
Yes.
I apologize. I broke all of your office last week, but I made you something brown.
I very much appreciate this.
I didn't. No whiskey.
Really?
Zero. Where the still broke.
I'm surprised that you were able to do that.
Oh, good to see everyone. I gotta go. I lost a bet.
No whiskey.
Bye.
Hey, man. Bye, man.
Yes, take care. No more bombs. Excellent. I've been begging for this for a while, which brings us back to the topic of a chef. You all need to find one. Hopefully one that can do this, or someone else who can. Are you looking at me?
I thought you were doing something special when you said something like this.
No, like making delicious espresso.
I feel like that's a low bar.
I feel like I could
I
probably
feel
do
like
that,
if you
man.
asked a real chef to do that, he'd be like, "Why the fuck are you asking me?"
Yeah, 20
You
minutes, I
all
could probably
are
do that.
underestimating how deep the well of espresso knowledge goes. I mean, not only how fresh the beans are, but where you get them, how you roast them, how the grind is, whether it's fine or not, and then the temperature of the water. There's no depth to which you cannot go.
This guy's a brewmaster.
I feel like brewmaster, and I feel like honestly we could just find like a 20-year-old girl with like blue hair and like wing eyeliner, and she could probably crush it for you, brother.
I bet she would do excellently, but someone who has spent their life crafting espresso is what I seek.
I feel like we could just turn 7 into like a Keurig.
I would never do that to my man.
Apologies to you, but the machine that I already have will never be replicated by any other machine.
None taken. I am more for hot chocolate.
He's back.
What if he saw it though? I've seen him transform into things he's seen.
Sure.
Okay, I have never attempted this.
He leads you all through a couple more hallways into.
That's me. That's me trying to transform into a curator.
No, not. There's. I have a machine that you can look at first.
Well,
if you want.
where's the K-cup go?
Just pop it right into his forehead. No. You guys walk through a few halls, and you turn a corner, or the curator does. He turns the corner and just immediately backpedals back to in front of you guys, and he stops and he goes,
Maybe another time to look at the espresso machine. Maybe not now.
Why?
No reason in particular.
I'm gonna try to push past him.
There's definitely a reason. I know the way.
I mean, you can just walk past him.
All right, I'll look into the office.
You look past, and it's this open room. It kind of looks like a cafe or a like small restaurant. And behind the counter, you see a large figure with plated metal arms, with this big artificial smile on his face, and a big. It looks like a fluffy beard, but it's all metal. It's all metal, and it's just this like 8-foot tall, like absolute beefcake of a man who's just like and picking something up and just fucking. Oh no!
Hey,
You ain't looking so hot since that last CoffeeZilla video.
Hello,
what's your name?
I'm Freddy.
No, fuck.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's great to meet you too.
He shakes your hand. He's like very dainty.
Oh, wait, he's okay.
You all are the curator. And the curator walks in and goes, No, they're not.
I'm the curator's dad.
The curator's dad.
Yes.
Why would you do
Freddy turns and says, I'm glad you all have found your way to me.
What you doing in here, bud?
Cooking for you.
What are you making for me?
He reaches underneath the counter and he pulls up like perfectly cooked escargot. And it's just steaming hot. And he goes, I made this for you.
That looks awful. Put it away.
Okay. And he puts it back under the
We
counter.
won't be eating that slop. We need to get them a new chef.
Can I get like an investigation check to figure out what the fuck Freddy is?
Sure. Go ahead and roll investigation.
I'm just looking up at him.
Yeah,
My
I'd like
eyes are like huge.
it's maybe a perception check or of some sort. You know, it's something I'm better at.
No, I'm definitely getting investigation off
Can
of
I
this.
roll in athletics to see what it's all about?
Yeah, sure, yeah, for fucking sure.
Oh, okay, an 11.
This is like an amusement park attraction animatronic.
Okay.
But just a big man. Just a large, wide man.
I'd like to look for the power button.
Okay, you kind of like look around.
Oh, he's gonna.
Doesn't look like, he looks like he's freestanding. Like he doesn't have a cord coming out his ass. Or anywhere else for that matter.
Would that be a tail plug?
No.
No. It's,
I mean, maybe.
I agree with
An
you.
electrician joke.
No, I think
It
he was
was like-
making a bit of a butt plug.
it was a BDSM and electrician joke.
quite tasteful and excellent.
Yeah.
The Venn diagram on those two is fucking crazy.
It's super slim, but when you hit that
Yeah.
that middle part,
Wow.
There's gonna be one guy that's gonna love that.
It's a silent
I got
majority.
you.
yeah, we're here for you. This is just the kind of crazy stuff that happens boys' night.
There's going to be a guy in the comments, as an electrician and a BDSM enthusiast.
I would never put metal in my ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you here.
With Hugh or you?
I'm with Hugh. Hugh.
Wheat things?
I think we should help him find a new chef.
Yes, a new chef, not me.
What do you normally do, Freddy?
The curator looks at you and says, Freddy sort of fills the gaps, but he's pretty much entirely useless. It's like, I guess useless is the wrong term, unreliable. Anytime he does anything, it is completely at random whether he is completely and utterly successful or just absolutely destroys anything that he touches.
I had a cousin like that. We got rid of him.
That's ominous.
Yeah.
How powerful are you, Freddy?
Freddy looks at you, he goes, I am the Alpha and the Omega. Nothing can do what I can. And the curator looks and says, he also just makes things up sometimes. Although, I suppose Freddy and I, if you want to get in the semantics of what we were talking about before, we're kind of two of a kind. He came here with the museum, same as I did, so there must be some purpose to him.
You should arm wrestle him. See how strong he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna headbutt him.
That accomplishes the same thing.
Well, it's a headbutt challenge.
Headbutt!
Yeah, see? You,
Challenge!
You headbutt me while I headbutt you. Ready?
Right.
All right, 3, 2, 1. 60.
Okay, you like back up and you start running at him, and he just goes to uppercut you when you get close, but you dodge out of the way before the fist lands, and it's very much like a Shoryuken pose by the end, and he goes, great contest, I win.
I don't like this game anymore.
Maybe he's more of a mental guy.
Yeah, I think
And then
he
I go,
is.
how many fingers am I holding up?
Yeah, yes,
Come on, you know numbers. I know a guy like you.
numbers, I have them,
Pick one of the ones you got.
one of them.
It was 4. Close enough.
You know you're like trying to climb up a hill in Skyrim, and you're like spam jumping. That's what we're doing against this guy. There's nothing.
Come on, there's gotta be something here. There's a hill to climb.
All right, Freddy, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, great to meet you, man. I'm glad to finally get to know you.
Meat!
Yeah, cook us up a little meat. I think that's where your mind's
I'm Freddy.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna go this way. You make him some espresso in here.
You just see him turn around and he just starts fucking. He's working on something real fast.
You didn't make a long enough, like beef Wellington. Something that takes forever.
No, once he's started, it's just.
I'm just kind of looking at him, and I look towards the party, and I go, I have come a long way, haven't I?
You're great, man. We're actually really lucky we got you.
You're a great robot.
Perhaps we move on.
That sounds great.
Thank God.
You guys take some time and move away from Freddy and back into a bit of a waiting period. Before the break, half of you guys did synergies, or I suppose half of you guys decided on someone to do synergies with, and now the other half are going to get to choose. So in the first half, Danny chose Hemp, Hugh chose Shark, and 4A chose Seven. The rest of you who haven't chosen can pick someone to do synergy with. It can be the same person, it can be a different person, but same idea is that make a little scene together and you can build synergy points by doing it. Who dog? Man, just lightning material here.
I'm brainstorming.
Okay, I believe in you. It's
Well,
you three.
yeah, him's gonna walk up to 7, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, man, that little spell you do with the vines, that's real effective. I like that.
My entangle spell.
The entangle spell is real nice. That's one that I just can't remember right now. I was never any good at it. It was more my friend's strong suit. But you know what? I got kind of an idea I used to do with him. It might just work with you, and your metal conductivity might just even make it stronger.
Please tell me about it.
So when you do the spell and you get those guys entangled like that, I can sit underneath you and I can just blast your vines with like elemental power, whichever one we're feeling, whatever's effective for what we're dealing with, and it goes through and blasts them. So you can get them with entangle, and then we can hit them with a little bit of, if I cast Witch Bolt at just the right time.
Using my vines as some sort of conduit.
Yes, exactly.
I think that is genius.
Yeah, the water in your little sprouts, conducts electricity, and we blast them.
Tell me, Hemp,
Yeah.
what was your home like?
My home was kind of cool, actually. It's actually pretty similar to the museum. The museum was like it's always changing to like balance out. That's kind of what my home world was. We had like these little, like more or less hexagonal shapes, like that could constantly move around. And it was pretty peaceful, actually, because people knew that if they needed something, it was probably going to pop up in like the next year or two or so. So every once in a while, these new little platforms would pop up. We had pretty much all the races we've seen so far, but they were all pretty chill together, actually. It was kind of nice. I came from this little gnomish world on this one hexagon, and then, things would pop up. We'd think maybe something might happen, and then we'd go talk to them. I was one of the defenders, if you know what that means.
The Defender?
Yeah.
A prestigious title.
I was the evocation wizard for my world. Anytime that I would, they'd need somebody. They'd call all the schools of magic together. We all had one leader. I was evocation. We'd go settle our differences, go do whatever we needed to the big bad guy, we'd come back and hang out.
Sounds like you were quite important in your village.
Until I decided to start brewing shit for the last 75 years, and I forgot more or less everything. It's chill as hell, though.
You forgot your magic?
Most of it. Some of it's innate to me, so I remember it, like sending that guy's mind to another universe, but other parts of it, we just think it up. I'm trying to find it all back, but I didn't really have a use for it anymore. It was more or less pretty peaceful.
I believe in you that one day you will find your magic.
Thank you. I believe that you're going to find your maker. Wow. And you know what? If we're going to this big library full of all these people we know, there might just be a little bit of information on them. Do you remember his name?
Seven pauses for a moment. His name. It is gone. It was there before we went into space, but now it is gone.
Is there anything else you remembered before that you're now forgetting?
No. Just my father's name.
Keep tabs on that. We might need to find a way to reinforce your memory, because if you're forgetting that's your most important thing. I don't want you forgetting anything else.
I agree.
Yeah, so we'll go to the library, see if we can find some out a little bit more on you. Keep you safe. I don't know how else to describe it, but if you're forgetting your dad's name, I want to keep your mind in the right space.
Keep you safe. Keep my little man safe. Excellent. Wow, what a somber note, but go ahead and mark synergy. That was excellent. And I love the theorycraft of your guys' ability. All right, we got Shark and Seven up to do some synergying. That's right, I said synergying. I can make up words if I
I'm ready
want.
to synergy.
I'm a dungeon master. Everything relies on me anyway.
Valar, are you in a talkative mood today? Sure. Oh, I did not expect this answer. I thought this was going to be real one-sided.
I'm gonna walk by and be like, I got 4 words.
Get shit on.
I'm going to smack him into the wall.
Oh!
So you have a god you follow, right?
In a way.
Huh. Me too.
This is beautiful.
And I gotta tell you, I've been wrestling with it a little bit lately. I don't even know if she's a god. I've just seen her a few times. She tells me to do things.
She's just a woman.
Somebody came down to hell, and they brought me this magical little box, and on it appeared my god, Judge Judy. And I listen to her, and I take direction from her, and that's how I draw my strength and power. And I'm feeling a little lost here. How do you know to trust your god?
I don't at all.
Yeah. I don't know what I wanted out of this conversation, but it's helping.
Perhaps there is another magic box in the museum somewhere.
That's a great idea, actually. See, I knew I'd get something from you. And then, on the other side, you may have noticed that I sometimes wrestle with issues when it comes to parental units, like mothers and fathers.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, I hide it really well. I heard you say something about your family, and that are they all dead?
Jesus Christ. He's got such a way with these sorts of conversations.
Yes, my entire clan's been massacred.
Parents too?
What'd you roll?
That's what I wanted to say.
What was the result?
Oh, no, it was an 18.
18 plus 6 athletics, 24 athletics. I'm back.
You jump and you slam her head into the ceiling.
Oh yeah, sorry. Are your parents dead?
I have but one parent, and that is the god to which you were referring.
Oh.
I was born of a celestial.
Oh. That's real different. I wanted some advice. And I'm not so sure you're the right guy for that. I never knew my parents, either of them. You may not know this, but one was a bug and one was a bear. And they created me a bugbear. And I think all of this just comes back to I'm lost for purpose in my life. And I just wanted to tell you that. This has been really helpful.
I heard you.
Thank you. Shark's gonna cry.
Fantastic. With that, go ahead and mark center.
That worked.
Absolute excellent tears. Great job.
Thanks, Valar.
Sometimes that's all you need is an angel man to just sit there and tell you that his family's been massacred and then just wait until you're done. Excellent. All right. Last up. Pick someone.
4A.
What's up?
The double?
I recalled the logs from our previous conversation concerning your wife.
Logs? I don't remember chopping any trees.
And I was wondering if I could offer some kind of marital counseling. Throughout my travel through the many realms, I've encountered many different kinds of relationships through many different species. I believe I could probably help. And if not, there is always the option of legal separation.
I can help with that.
Shark's on his fucking iPod in the background.
Let me tell you something. Dragons, they're crazy. I don't know if there's any counseling that which cannot be counseled.
Well, let's start small. Is there any common ground that you can reach with her?
Our house. She owns 50% of it.
I see. Material belongings. That is the first sign towards legal separation.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I think. So I was talking to the curator. I said, what if I could just appear 3,000 years later? That's like supposed to be when she's, gone. And the thing is, I love her to death, but she just requires so much. You'd think a dragon is like self-sufficient, but she's quite the dragon.
Seems like your bravado has a limit. This person seems like someone that even you are not capable of understanding or comprehending.
You can only shine somebody so much. She's just always needing shining. It's never shiny enough. It's just, I can't polish that much. She's 15 feet tall.
Do you believe that your need for bravado and extra behavior comes from her need for superficial things?
I never really put that much thought into it. I just kind of got married.
Okay.
And then once I came back, I just realized, spending all that time together, it happens in the in the Navy. You come back and you're just like, man, I don't actually like this person at all.
3,000 years. You want to go back? You want to go 3,000 years in the future so that you don't have to see one person?
No, she's more than a person. She's a dragon.
She is also your wife.
Look, the love is there. It's just that the connection isn't. So I'm hoping the time can remedy that, and maybe she'll get bored.
Or maybe you will learn more about yourself on this journey, and that will help you in your relationship more than you realize.
You've given me a lot to think about. I don't really think a lot.
I am glad that we could have this conversation, Captain.
Captain? I like that.
Please mark synergy. Please, for the love of God. Just for saying, I don't ever think. that is an incredible.
That's starting to become a common theme. Around
Yeah, just beautiful stuff.
None of
you
us are
guys.
smart except for the one person who can't read.
Yeah.
I can read. We've already determined I can read pretty good.
Yep.
A real Mike Ross. I look at something and I know it.
Stop watching Suits clips while you work. Every time I pass his office, it's like a 4-minute clip of Suits.
Holy shit.
That's not even on YouTube Shorts. Or limited to 3 minutes. What are you doing?
It's one video after the other.
He's just watching vertical YouTube videos. They're not shorts.
It's cool. I've watched like legit all of Suits through like the lens of YouTube, like what it thinks I should watch.
It's just
as.
so accessible.
He told me why he's watched it all, but hasn't seen like a single relationship.
Yeah, it's like I have no idea how Mike Ross and fucking Rachel get together,
Yeah.
but like everything else,
But he
I know
knows they are.
To be
Yeah.
fair, I did that with the Peaky Blinders, and then
It's
I watched
true.
the
The
Peaky
clips
Blinders.
start exactly when it gets good and ends right when it gets boring. Why would you not?
That's
Yeah.
true.
All right, you guys have successfully, I may add, done all of your first synergy and free times for your first between arc segment. If there is anything that you guys want to do in the museum before we move on, speak now.
I think we want to go to the library, right?
Yeah,
Let's
I'd
see
like
what
to
the
go to the
library's
library
about.
and check the phone books.
Looks like everybody's going to the library. You guys have some things to search. If you want, you can tell me what they are, and I'll give you a roll to roll, and I'll tell you how successful you are. That's how Dungeons and Dragons is played.
I have 3 things. 3 things I'd like to find.
3 things. Let's hear it.
That's greedy.
Yep. All right, well, now I have 4 things.
4 things. Go for it.
Racism. I'd like to look up racism.
Sure. Just give me all of them, and I'll tell you what to roll.
Okay. Racism, I want to see if any of my time in the Solar Navy has been recorded
Okay.
in history.
Gotcha.
And I'd like to look at a phone book for divorce lawyers.
Sure, fantastic.
Yep.
I'm right.
Roll.
I know you're right there. It's always weird, though, if your friend's doing it.
That's true. Roll an investigation check.
For all of them at the same time?
Yeah, just roll one. We'll see how things go.
Actually, very cute.
I have a tiered rolling results.
Why does it have to be an investigation check, Ryan? Why can't it ever be perception?
I am Drew and not Ryan.
I did say Ryan. I am so sorry.
Actually, take
Like-
5 off of your roll.
I
Jesse put a big
apologize.
ooh on screen.
It's just that when I
Do the
get
Wii
upset
Sports
with the DM, I say Ryan.
You're mad at Ryan, but you're happy.
Actually, Jesse, cover him with a black block
I know,
for the rest
right?
of the game.
Like he just screamed out the wrong name. Okay, what was the roll?
You're doing a good job.
13. That's exactly right. If I'm being compared to Ryan, I'm on my way, baby. Almost
Shut up,
professional.
Drew.
13 it is. I'll start with the bad news. The museum has a really strange problem in that they don't have a lot of phone books in it because there's not really any person to call. And as you look through this paperwork, and something that everyone who's searching will understand, it's less of like, you know, oh, this is a book from X year that I can read. It's a lot of like third person just detailing of things that happen, but just in absolute minutia. Like, this dust particle drifted from here to here in this time. And it's just miles of books that are that detailed. But with the sorting system, you're able to find more stuff that you want. So nothing on the divorce lawyer in the phone book. Going to your time in the Solar Navy, using the sorting system, you're able to find a section that covers different navies, and you even find a subsection about solar navies, multiple. Not just yours, but several others, but you do find an entry on yours. And it points to an area in the museum that you are not really sure how to get to. Things like directions and where to go, but the writing underneath this part of the Solar Navy just details about how like long-standing and impressive it is compared to other solar navies from other realms. Like, yours is one with reputability that is like almost unreasonable, that it feels like it couldn't have been done by normal people.
I'm holding it up and I'm just like reading it aloud.
yeah. It's an absolutely impressive stat sheet, but there's nothing specific to you, even though there is a segment on most influential figures from the Solar Navy.
Says here that we were the best solar navy. That's multiple solar systems I've ever seen. I don't. Yeah, you get the idea.
Perfect. Then going to your most broad topic of just racism. Yeah. There is. And guess what? Everywhere it's pretty not great, is what I'll say.
Is he holding the book that's saying that?
Yeah, he opens up a tome.
I'm gonna swing my axe through it.
Okay. He opens up a tome and you just see racism on at the start of the book, and you're like, finally, a source of literature.
And now it says Raskism.
Yeah, exactly.
And I pick up the pages and I go, oh my God, Valar, get over here.
So he literally,
I can't believe it.
as I'm educating myself, he decides to cut down the book.
Yeah.
I still know nothing about racism.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna right at you. Just make sure you know I'm watching.
I don't know why you're upset about me learning.
Do you think he's researching how to be a racist?
It could be.
He's just reading the racism book.
That's true. He's talking about colonizing.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't doing one of these.
Right. Yeah. He didn't look that up like.
I didn't even get a chance to role play. I was still listening.
No, I think it's so sick. He definitely didn't open it and immediately go.
He didn't say a word and then go,
Yeah.
This is terrible. None of that.
He opened it and it was just like bad, and you were like, and then you just and no details for you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. But considering you basically plucked a book off the shelf and opened it and it had like lots of info, you'll probably find it somewhere else when you aren't going to be attacked. Excellent job.
Thank you.
Anyone else who's searching the library?
I'm gonna look around real quick, and I'm gonna look for 3 topics as well. I'm gonna look for the name of your dad, and then I'm gonna look for something about your creator, and then I was thinking about racism, but I'm gonna look for a book on gambling and how to count cards.
Cool.
Are you gonna ignore what I asked you to do?
And
What?
I asked you to do.
His deity and his deity.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I
gonna
looked
find
for the-
mine.
No, I fucking give up on that. Absolute worthless.
I forgot. I looked for something on EXO.
Sure.
Too.
Sure.
So let me roll that.
And Judge Judith.
24. So
24. Excellent. Let's punch through some of them. This time I'll start with the best news. You look up information on gambling, and it's easy enough to find a book on how to count cards. And you sort of pull it, and usually in a library, books are stacked next to each other. You pull a book, and there's another book like behind it, and you reach in and grab that one out, and there's another book behind it, like multiple feet into the wall at this point. And you kind of can't reach, and then someone else walks over and grabs it out for you. You have plenty of resources when it comes to gambling, how to, how not to, how to fake it, how to make it. Everything that you want.
I like the idea of me thinking like I'm gonna get. All right, I gotta get his dad. I gotta get Seven's creator. Mm-hmm. I guess gambling. Valar being like, well. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Still hasn't
Shit.
realized he replaced my god with gambling now.
Yeah, that's right. Perfect.
I'm like, oh fuck. I got a lot of research to do in here actually.
Next up, this takes a bit longer, but you do find it's sort of similar to how Foray interacted with his Solar Navy. You're in a very general part of the library, and anything specific takes some deep diving between its halls. But you find information on Valar's home, as well as the deities, and you learn a little bit more about how it works. And the system, the realm that he's from, sort of functions as like a training ground, like a multi-planetary system training ground that deities sort of harvest soldiers from. The language in the book is like very, very harsh. Almost like someone was mad that they had to write it. And you see a list of deities, and you see right there on it EXO, but it doesn't have very much detail. It's just a list. But it's like one of, tens to hundreds maybe.
Cool.
And it doesn't seem that the names are sorted in any way. They seem completely randomized. Roll an intelligence check for me very quickly. Quicker than that.
Shit, that one's bad. That is a 10.
Yeah. It seems completely unsorted, and you just are kind of like, okay, there are deities, lots of them, and X is one of them.
Perfect.
Next up, finding stuff on Judge Judith is nearly impossible. Although you do find a book on the Hells, and you start reading through it, and you're like, wow, this is good information. But then it starts like veering really weirdly, and you realize that you're reading a book on the Hells that probably isn't where Shark is from. It's a different set of them. One that is like way, way less structured. Like it's just an open plain of lava that they drop people into and they don't die. And that's just all of it. That's the whole thing.
I feel like people, in terms of divine punishment, that's probably actually not too bad. I feel like after a year or two, you'd kind of get used to the burning sensation. You just kind of resort to like an equilibrium. I feel like I could probably deal with that.
Your belief in the humanoid psyche is quite impressive.
The human spirit is indomitable. And so is this fucking muscle.
Yeah.
Pat it real quick and like, oh.
Penultimately,
Yeah, he's by himself in the book. He just goes,
yeah, I could do that.
Hype himself up a little
Reading
bit.
is power.
Well, he's got so much research to do right now. He's just like, fucking gotta hype myself up, get back into it.
Oh yeah. Penultimately, you find a book that is clearly referencing a place similar to what you've heard Seven talk about before, but it's all really sparse. Before, I talked about how each of the books is micro-detailed, absolutely and impressively. All of the books covering this almost have nothing in them. Like the world was stood still for some incredible amount of time. But other than that, just flipping through, it's like way too high a volume and you don't really make any serious progress.
Okay.
Then, looking through tomes, you find one similar to Hugh's description of where he's from, or at least what little you've garnered from it.
Gotcha.
You open the book, and this one is much different from the others. You find some information about, his home realm and some of the things from it, but this is the first book that has redacted entries. There is black marker just crossing out, like at the beginning, maybe 5% of each page, but by the end, it's like fully black ink pages. Hardly anything is available.
Okay.
And that's what you find, bud.
Okay.
Excellent stuff. Anybody else doing research?
I will look for a book on how to be a human.
Good.
How to be a real boy. It's
Go on.
the cover's like a guy and he's like,
Yeah.
and it says, so you want to be a meat bag?
Yeah, good. Go ahead and roll investigation.
All right. That's 14.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, fuck it. You walk around and you pull a book and it just looks exactly like that. It's like How to Be Meat 101. And you crack it open and the page just really big. It says like, eat.
Damn it.
He's raging. Absolutely raging.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, great. Perfect.
I'll look for a book. I'm going to look for a book on celestials, but specifically like weaknesses or how to kill them.
Sure. Go for it. Roll investigation. Completely non-ominous book to find.
5. Oh, God.
Okay. You do some looking around, and you don't really find anything that's celestial-esque. Hemp gives you the book that he found on your place, but it doesn't really help. It doesn't have any information that you wouldn't know. It's pretty general. Something that you almost pick up secondhand from not finding anything having to do with celestials is that deities are either one of two things. Protected information that the museum doesn't give out extremely willingly or easily, or not common. It could be that loads of these realms just don't have deities, but it's hard to say which is the case. Excellent.
can I do another investigation check for one on my world to see like the most recent history book? Like if anything's changed since I've gone.
Yeah, sure.
Nat 20.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. You do some looking and you find a book, and it happens to be on a realm that feels similar to yours. And something that you're kind of processing as you open it up is, you know, if this museum is endless and it has all of the information, this book could be about a place very like where I'm from, but not exactly. It could be near exact, but you kind of brush that aside because you feel pretty confident. And you open the book, and the history in it spans from the beginning to the end of this realm. And looking at it, you're not really sure where your recent would be between its pages.
Okay. I'm just gonna like look through it and be like, well, I'm not gonna, I see an end to this book, I'm not flipping that far. I'll get midway, see kind of where I'm thinking, and then I'm gonna stop and hope it's not that many. There's a lot of pages left after that, I hope.
You are flipping through and you see names that you don't recognize and places and things that kind of don't really make sense, but there's small aspects, like something that you brought up is like hexagonal landmasses. You see that a couple times and you're like, okay, this is something.
It's somewhat close. It's a pretty unique feature, it seems, in a lot of these worlds, so
And
maybe it's it.
It's like as you're flipping pages, the book is like maybe an inch thick, but it's like there's just more pages. Just more and more and more and more and more. And if you wanted, you could flip the whole thing to the back, but like, you're just so puzzled, just flipping and like making zero progress.
God damn. Can I look for a zoo book of sloths? I see a zoo book of sloths, and I'm like, that kind of goes crazy too. Let me check this out.
I'm gonna look for a book on hell law. A book to learn to read, but keep that one between us. And the book, Are You My Mother?
Sure. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Just one or three?
Nah, just one.
What a throwback to being 3.
So, 10. Exactly average.
You start looking through the books and you pull one, and the text on the front is really small. You're like, this probably isn't about learning how to read, or this would be really big.
Yep.
So you put it back. You pull another one and you're like, this one looks pretty fancy. Put it back. You start to realize you don't know how to read the cover. So you don't know how you're going to find a book. But with some help from your friends, you're just like, this is a good book how to read, right? And they're just like, no.
Yeah, I'm going to take another off the shelf and be like, this is the one I was looking for, and just put it in my pocket without checking what it is.
Yeah, excellent. I'm going to write that down because this is fuel.
Fuel for what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You are looking through a bunch of books and kind of just like, nope, that one doesn't make sense, and sliding it back. But you do find one that the front is like really big lettering, and you kind of look at it and you're like, I feel like I could get the handle of this one.
Yep.
And you don't know what it says, but you may pocket it if you wish.
I'm going to pocket it.
Perfect. Anyone else doing museum stuff? It can be library, it can be non-library. Excellent. Then, after a few more days pass, the curator joins you all, wherever you may be, and he says, everyone, important day, I have your next task, your next exhibit. But before you go, we have someone to go re-meet. And he leads you between hallways, and you go to what looks like... Have you ever thought about what a warehouse that stores a bunch of stuff looks like on the inside, and it's just racks and rows of things that go back infinitely?
Like the shot in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I was gonna say where they found the.
Exactly like that.
Yep.
There is like a bar top with stools. Behind that is just that infinite warehouse space. And standing at the bar, writing on paper, is Deedee. And as you walk up, she says, oh, well, hi, dears. It's great to see you again. Son, you look beautiful and healthy.
You too.
I think that you're here for your next job, correct?
Yep.
Bet.
Okay, well, I have everything that you guys have collected over the last however so often, and, well, I've learned a lot about the museum, me and the king here, and she rubs his head. I have sort of a set of rules that I can bring to you, but they're not annoying rules, they're kind of fun. Each of you going on your next adventure is going to be able to bring one thing that you brought back from your other adventures. This isn't permanent. Moving forward, the stronger that you guys get, the more things that you are going to be able to take, but there's only so much, coming and going that the museum sort of allows space for. But not everything is made the same. And she walks to the back of the warehouse, and I'm going to get a list of items that is going to go into the Discord for you guys to see. Each of you is going to be able to pick one of these items, and I'm going to read them aloud for the audience at home. From Spaceport, we have a blaster. If you'd like, you can take a blaster. The Holly Jolly Halberd, the Snowflake Lake promotional sunglasses, a pocket version of the motorcycle. The pocket motorcycle needs to be shared between two people. It technically counts as 2 items. Magic beans that you guys had last time. The air leaves that you guys had that we're going to lovingly refer to as breves. And then the right cause bauble, the one that Hugh was using to empower his weapon with holy striking. Then one of the curators has left a bag of Molotov cocktails for you to pick from. The other curator has left something that has an odd description that I'll give to you after a moment. And then there's 2 unique magic items. One of them is from the museum's deep stores. It's an immovable rod. The second is what's called a time card. The time card allows you to punch it wherever you are and summon someone from the museum to come and help you. Someone who's employed, other than the curators.
Does that include Freddy?
This includes Freddy, I guess. Zatchit, the king of the road, Deedee. Good?
It's like an assist trophy.
It's exactly like an assist trophy. And then the thing that I skipped, the other curator left you a what was that attention grabber. It's a ball that you can roll, and any people that aren't you guys will sort of like Skyrim, what was that? Look in the direction that it is sent. And then at some point they'll look back, but it'll take them a few moments. So each of you gets to pick one, and then Chelsey will pick hers after today, obviously.
Like we're playing Hitman.
Yeah.
A little bottle over there.
It's like the coin.
Yeah.
Or like what you smuggle in at the beginning of a mission.
Yeah, 100%. So each of you gets to pick one, or if you want to bring the motorcycle, you can split it between 2 people.
I have multiple decisions. There's a lot of good stuff here.
And take your time. It's all stuff that you guys more than well deserve, and I imagine that during your upcoming adventure, you're going to be bringing a lot of stuff back to me that I'm going to organize. So
I like to cast detect magic, and what I do is I put my finger in my mouth and go,
good.
and that's my way of casting it.
Yeah, I love it. You're definitely getting it feels like a strong wind is blowing on the front of your finger, and you are getting a heavy magical sense from most of these things in front of you. The Holly Jolly Halberd, the Snowflake Lake promotional sunglasses, the right cause bauble, and the what was that? And the immovable rod.
The what?
It's like a steel...
No, I know what it is. I'm saying the what? The immovable rod?
Yeah, it's an immovable rod, honey. I found it back there. Okay. Someone doesn't have a lot of
How did
thinking
he
to
do that? It doesn't move.
No, it does move just when you want it to.
Oh, okay.
How did it make him be the one that lets it want to move?
There's a button on it.
Look,
That sounds just like a...
listen, take your eyes off of it. It's the unlookable rod. Stop looking.
She goes, can I at least demo it for them?
Absolutely not.
I don't really see how this...
movable rod.
Here,
Yeah, it sounds
and I'm
very
going to give it back to her, but I flick it on.
So he reaches out his hand, and you hear a button click, and she reaches for it and grabs it, and goes like, oh, and kind of falls over, and her hand is just like stuck in the air. And
I have my axe to Foray's
she
throat.
pulls herself up using it. It doesn't move, and she lets go, and it is suspending itself.
Oh, I see how it works. You look ravishing today too. Great.
Thank
Thought I'd
you.
say, yeah, you look great.
I appreciate that. I've been mostly alone for 4 days, so that goes a long way.
What is the immovable rod?
Should have let me know.
She clicks it. I don't know, steel? She hands it to you. I'm a lot more country than the last time you guys saw me.
Everybody,
will do that
everybody
to you.
must have a cold in the museum.
The museum does that, yeah.
Rubbing off on you.
Please, anything else that you guys want, you can feel free to take.
What are you boys taking?
Hey, Hugh, I know you had it last time, but do you trust my judgment of not blasting every person I see to take that righteous cause?
Yeah, I trust that.
Okay. I'm gonna,
You got a good heart.
yeah, I feel like I can, you guys will believe me when I say something that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because the
I
other
agree
ones
with
killed
that.
3-year-olds and the other guys are
I was gonna say,
colonizers.
I'm glad you recognized he had a good heart because that definitely totally matters to us.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys are valiant. So,
You pick up the bauble, and it sort of shines a little when you pick it up.
I'm like, oh, it likes me.
Oh, it's just made of metal.
For it.
Can you
Or
remind
likes
me?
you.
Can you remind me what the sunglasses do? Is that plus charisma?
Yeah, it's plus charisma, and I think it gives you advantage on persuasion. Makes you look real cool.
Okay.
I can find that information. It'll just be deep in the bowels of the
I
notes.
want you to choose first because I feel like
If you want,
If you
want
guys-
to take,
You go first, and then I'll follow.
if you want to take my holly jolly halberd for a spin, you're allowed to.
well, that was your weapon. So.
I know, but I just love my fucking axe.
So you didn't really use it in Spaceport.
Well, he didn't have
He
it.
couldn't.
I just
Oh,
had it
that's
back.
right. I forgot about that.
Santa was a bitch.
Yeah, that asshole.
He does that.
Yeah. Took
I'm
my-
not really.
It's advantage on persuasion, and targets have disadvantage on attempts from being charmed. So if you're trying to charm someone, they'll have disadvantage.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll take that. I have charm person and I like to lie to people.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's
The
fair.
Snowflake
I
Lake
have a
promotional
shield. I can't use
sunglasses.
that.
Oh, it's a two-handed weapon. You're right.
She goes, they match your goggles.
Oh, thanks, Dee.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, dear.
If I were to throw one of those Molotov cocktails at somebody, numerically speaking, how much do you think it would hit them for?
She
Hurt
looks
them
at it,
for.
and she picks up a piece of paper. She says, the curator left a very helpful note. It says, fireball at home?
You can also just take it to the lobby and test it.
I mean, we have more than one.
How many do I get in this bag? Do I get a bag or do I get one?
Let's say 2. I like the idea of 2 because the first time you can kind of throw it, but then the second one you're like,
You know what you're doing.
this is the real one, huh?
Yep.
If you want to test, I have an extra.
Yeah, I'll test it. I'm gonna take it and sprint and throw it at Zatchit.
Okay, cool. You slam open the door to the lobby, and everyone immediately looks over you. And Zatchit goes, "Hi, shark!" And you throw it, and it smashes him in the face. I'd like you to roll. What did we say? 5d4.
5d4. Okay. All right, I got him. I
You
got
have
him.
5.
Yeah.
Question on the time card. Is this like we can permanently have one ally, or is it like single use for like the next
So
realm we
I
go
think
to?
what we had talked about was something like you punch it, and they're in with you for the day.
Okay.
And you can only bring one person's time card. So like before you go, you have to pick like I want Zatchit's time card or King of the Road's time card.
13. So
13.
you're telling me it's like a Mr. Beast video where I can bring my mom out for one of the days?
Yeah, exactly.
That's adorable.
We flew out, Shark's mom,
All right.
just to watch him massacre a bunch of people.
See, my axe does more damage than that. Magic
Yeah, but-
shit.
But does your axe explode? By the
Yeah, I
way,
got the,
Zatchit
righteous
is
cause thing.
on fire, completely consumed. He is howling bloody murder. And then after a few moments, the fire goes out, and he stands up, and he's covered in blisters, and he goes, and then they start healing, and he goes, that was really bad.
You're gonna close the door and walk away.
Wait, I knew it.
Way to take it on the chin. Good job, man. Bye. I kind of missed the little guy. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, last
You
question.
go first. I don't know what I want.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'll take the air leaves.
The Breves.
The breeze.
Sure, a perfect take. I'll say you can bring one for each of your friends.
Okay.
It would be crazy if I said like 3 of them.
How many times can the magic roller be used?
Let's say Molotov-ish, twice. twice per adventure.
Gotcha.
I'm making shit up. This may change next session.
Okay.
In fact, if you guys would want to decide later, you can, because we're getting close to the end here, but, the end of time.
Yep.
Sorry.
World's almost over.
But it seems like most of you guys have what you want, so if you want to just finish picking, you can finish picking.
I'll just take the fucking roller.
Perfect.
I'll take the time card.
And whose time card are you taking?
Yeah, I'll take.
Deedee's time card. So we have immovable rod. I already forgot what you brought. The roller. The what was that? Deedee's time card.
I took the Righteous Cause bauble.
The Righteous Cause bauble, the promotional sunglasses, and the briefs. And then Stewie will pick something, and we'll update you guys. And as you guys are starting to gear up, the curator comes back and says,
I'm glad to see that you guys are getting prepared and in such, curt fashion. I very much appreciate that you've sort of taken to this. I understand moving forward if you have your doubts working here, and I'd be happy to talk you through with everything, but being plain, until the work is done, it needs to be done. So, you'll be working here until it is. Unless, I guess you all die.
and he turns and he begins leading you to another exhibit. And Deedee says, "Bye, dear. Great to see you again."
I'm going to sprint back real quick and say, actually, give me the halberd. And I put the ball back down and I give her a kiss on the forehead.
Okay.
And I sprint back.
The very candy cane looking halberd.
I'm going to go to Deedee and I'm going to be like, I need help finding something. Can you come show me? And kind of like try to lead her away from
Certainly. She walks with you.
And then I'm going to show her the sword.
Okay.
And ask her, if can you help me fix this?
She looks at it and she goes, "Not a lot of the things that I've seen in the museum are broken," but she picks it up and looks it over and she says, "Doesn't have a tag on it either. I'll get this tagged and given back to you, but I don't know about fixing it. I'll do some looking into it. I'll look at the other swords and weapons we have, and if you'd like, I can put some elbow grease into it. I'm not running out of things to do, but doing things for you all specifically is always better."
Great.
You see her very quickly begin to work, and you can tell that her role as quartermaster has taken place very fast. She's already proficient, and she's just grabbing things and writing details about the sword before she books, close, and then puts like this little marker on it that just vanishes the second that she puts it, and she says, "All right, you're all tagged and ready, so good luck."
Thank you.
And she sends you all on your way. The curator leads you down a few hallways, and he says,
"Now, your last adventure was to Spaceport, and it was great to be able to lead you there and to tell you about it beforehand, but this place that you're going to now, it's not as available. You'll see what I mean." And he leads you to the exhibit that is almost completely empty. You see a bunch of really wide, on-the-ground exhibit stands, very low to the ground and clearly to hold something very large, but just empty. And just cases along the wall, empty. All of it's empty. And he walks up to a couple of things and he says, "The only thing that we have here is, well," and he turns and you see a small vial. It looks like it has nothing in it. And he says, "This contains an incredibly toxic material, an illness almost, that, well, the history of this world has sort of been completely and utterly ravaged by this magic, life-devouring thing. And so we're going to put this back safely," and he puts it onto the rack, "and you guys will figure out how to fill the rest of this exhibit. I don't know much about where you're going, but you'll be fine." And he turns, a turnstile appears, and he has 2 cards. "Anybody in particular like to take them? Last time it was you two."
I'll take one. If we gotta collect stuff, I feel like I might be the man for the job right now.
"Would you like the first card or the second?"
You just read about gambling.
Yeah, well, I'll take the second card. Odd number.
He hands it to you. "This one won't open until you've done some work and you've completed your first goal.
Sounds good.
Second."
I'll take
Or
it.
first card. Fantastic. He hands it to you, and I forget if the first card opened in the museum, but I'll just make some shit up. This one doesn't open. Not yet. He says, once you're, in the right place, it'll let you know. But it should be very soon.
Thank you. And I insert it into my head. Into my head.
Oh,
It's for safekeeping.
yes, of course. He gestures to the turnstile. Good luck.
I'm gonna motion to maybe eat it, and then I'm like,
That will
don't
do
think
the
it's
same
gonna-
thing.
Okay. I thought maybe it'd be worth a shot.
I'm gonna jump through the turnstile.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Stewie follows
follow you to walk through. Yeah.
I will also go through.
You guys all end up walking through the turnstile, and I bet you thought that this is where we were closing, but you are so very wrong. Shark, as the first person through the turnstile, you push the mechanism, and as you do, you get this weird vertigo feeling, because when you walk through, you're no longer upright. It's almost like you're facing the ground. You're also falling, and everyone follows you, and you're all just falling through what looks like empty space. You look around, and around you, you see stars in the sky above, and below you, a thick layer of cloud cover. And you are just falling, 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 falling. I'd like everybody to roll initiative. Yeah, what's up?
I wanted to click my movable rod if I could.
Yeah, perfect. You walk through the turnstile, start falling, and you hold on. Initiative as well.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do a. I was prepped for this, guys. I'm a professional. Okay. 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
17.
17 for 7. Incredible. Wow, really? No one else? Oh, I have to roll for Stewie. Yeah, that's a number. 15 to 10. Okay, let's start with you.
14.
14 for Hemp.
11.
11.
11.
Oh. 11 for Villar and Shark. Okay, and then the rest of y'all.
7.
6.
Dang! I thought that me being here, your bad initiative curse would be gone, but
No.
it's all you, bud. That's just you. 7 is 4-8, and then 6
He doesn't
is
like
you.
sucker punch, so he likes to let him get the first hit in.
Yeah.
All right,
I like
7.
to wait.
Yeah.
You're the first to react. You are just plummeting to what feels like your death.
I pull my cape out and try to glide, and it doesn't work.
Nope. It just rips out of your fingers and just.
Does anyone have a plan?
They all laughed at me about the movable rod.
He's like hundreds of feet above you guys.
They all laughed.
Stewie turns to you and she says that she has a bit of a plan, but if you guys aren't all together, then it's not going to work.
We have to separate?
In fact, exact opposite.
Oh. I thought you said if we're all together, it won't work.
No. Maybe I did say that. You all have to be together.
Okay.
Stewie would be clear. Drew, not so much. 7, what are you doing?
I will try to meander towards the group, herd everyone together.
Excellent. Let's do an acrobatics check.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
This is how to handle your body in free fall.
This will go great.
Yeah.
Well, no, it didn't. It's a 1.
Excellent. You guys see as 7 was kind of free falling like a skydiver's position, and then goes to lean and just like an action figure dropped off the Empire State Building, just spinning and going crazy, and his limbs are ragdolling everywhere. Yeah, you're in a bad state, bud. Anything else?
Nope.
Fantastic. That was your action to make that check. Hemp is up next.
All right, I'm gonna start swimming towards the rest of the group.
Go ahead and roll acrobatics as well.
Alrighty. Nat 1, so that's
Perfect. Both of you just opposite directions, boom, just flying away from each other.
Well, I'm also, while I'm fucking going crazy, the muscle memory's going wild, and I'm gonna start crafting something, see if maybe I can get a low gravity potion going for my boys.
What are you putting in?
I'm gonna put in one of the chip off a little bit of the black crystal. Maybe I still have it in my
Perfect.
backpack from before. From
Better
Spaceport.
DM, could you link me the sheets? Because I don't have them open.
I'd like to think like in the air though, you look like you're doing like a bomb launch, like in like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I'm like gnawing on it to get a piece off. I'm like, and then fucking.
You're seeing
spit
him
it.
like
Yeah.
he's moving almost as chaotically as him, but with some purpose.
I'm like, yeah. I throw it back there.
Okay,
And then I roll.
go ahead and roll, my friend.
Oh, I'm gonna roll a 5, which I believe is a new result. No.
Yes, it may be.
Huh. What does it look like?
It looks sort of like.
What is the bottle doing?
It looks like a white soda that also has this sort of like, it's very effervescent looking and very, it almost looks, you don't understand, you look at it, it almost looks stylish.
Okay. Is the potion getting larger at all?
No.
Okay.
It is maintaining its size.
All right. Then
PTSD.
Well, I was gonna say we had the growth potion before, so if it was that, I could just blast it. Maybe we'd all be big enough.
Yeah. Big enough to not die.
Yeah, or small enough that air resistance just goes crazy.
True.
We're like ants. I guess I'll keep it and I'll just fucking hold on to it till next turn.
Cool. Valar and Shark, you guys are up.
Hey,
Man, just a riveting game we got going on.
no, sorry. I got a good idea here.
It's okay. Takes a lot of energy.
Hugh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
So I'm thinking maybe Valar takes your little tootsies and I take your little handsies and we spread you out and kind of, we spread them.
The giant bedsheet maneuver. You heard me when I was talking about my kamikaze pilot days.
Yeah, so we bed sheet you.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, what if we make him like a raft under us and we all sit in it and it like kind of floats down?
So yeah, I think
Just expand as wide as possible.
Yeah, if you could raft us all together, and hopefully Stewie can feather fall us, or you more so because we're in you. I don't know how physics work.
Just a absolute clip fest happening.
Yeah, I'm just thinking there's a way that we stretch.
Yeah, that's where my head was at.
Okay.
You guys are still like 20 feet away from him. I'd say that you're 20 feet below because you went first and you're 20 feet behind
below.
him.
So I've got a suit jacket on, so I'm gonna hit the fucking brakes and
Sure.
straight up to Hugh.
Let's go for, I think because you're attempting to slow down instead
I'm
of direct,
athletic as
I think
shit.
it's athletics. You're literally fighting the wind resistance, like trying to hold it in place.
Yeah, but just like his potion, I'm stylish.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
At the same time, can I like streamline and turn into like a bullet?
Oh,
Try
yeah.
and, like speed up to catch
This
him?
will be acrobatics
Okay.
because you're attempting
Question. Is athletics is that a strength check?
to. Athletics is a strength type check, yeah.
Can I be really mad at this air?
If
as
you
I'm
would like to
falling?
rage,
Yeah.
sure.
Fuck this fucking racist air.
Yep.
That's better. It's a 13.
Okay. I'll say that you are able to slow down enough that you know what? You slow down enough, but you slam into Hugh and you both take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Shit. But you do impact and catch each other. What was
I got
your
15.
15 is enough, and with enough exactness that you're able to like, it's very much like Iron Man just like standing completely still, just like, just you catch up to them, and before you slam into them, you spread your body out and slow down to match their pace. You got three people together.
You did 1 point of bludgeoning damage, but it's halved. How does that math actually?
I always round up.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, definitely. Next up would be Stewie. I'm gonna see if I can get her close to you guys. Ooh, that's not great. She doesn't get a 1, but it's tough. She isn't making a lot of progress, but she will give Bardic Inspiration to 7 from a distance. She'll say, "I believe you can fly." Thank you. And that's it. Next up, we have Foray, then to Hugh.
Well, that fucking sucked.
Could you make an athletics check for me? Because you are supporting your entire...
Static clinging. That's weird.
Oh no, you are static clinging.
That's right.
Can you imagine if he had to let go and lost it forever? Like it's now just in the
Yeah,
sky.
it just stayed in the sky.
I was literally could never move it again. Cling this entire session.
Yeah.
Once I heard about the rock.
You clinged it.
AKA 10 seconds ago.
So you have your round to just view.
The minute that you put the rod in the game was over. I'm just gonna say
Good.
that. Yep.
This is what it's for.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually make, because I have it as an action or a reaction during a move that I can cling or uncling it.
Yep.
I'm gonna basically try, because I can cling anything to my body.
Yep.
It's already clinged, but I'd like to go ahead and try to move it up to my torso. So I'd like to do a pull.
Okay, a one-handed pull up to your chest.
Well,
I guess you can get both hands.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Sure.
Unless it's like a hook now.
This is
Cut off my
a
hand.
athletics check of the century.
Okay. I mean, he could do pull-up seasons, or he's 55.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's going to be a challenge.
The challenge it will be. You said athletics?
You should
Athletics.
rage.
I rage. It's 13.
13? Yeah, I
It's
think...
ugly.
Oh, this is tough, because I want to punish you for some reason.
Because you have broken my movement puzzle.
Yeah, no. I think that this is excellent. I think you get the pull-up, but your hands are slipping, and you're not going to be able to hold like a pull-up like this another time for a while.
Yeah, and
like
then
you're getting very tired very fast.
I'd like to use my reaction
Sure.
to now cling it to my torso so I have free hands.
Sure, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm just
chilling.
Yep, and I'm just gonna look down. Now that I've used my action, I probably can't click the button again, so I'm gonna chill.
You see what's happening below you, almost like, this is so dumb, almost like someone looking down at a chessboard. All of these things are moving, but you have what your party members do not, which is very literal oversight of the situation.
Yeah.
If that is all that you got.
Yeah, I'm just gonna yell, if you guys die, I'll revive you.
Perfect. Hugh, you're up.
I'll just shape self to the maximum 10 feet. So I grow like a Power Rangers villain here, and I'm stretching out.
Oh yeah.
I give an appendage to Valar, another appendage to Shark, and then I'm gonna try and like aim myself towards Seven and Hemp as best as I can to try and get closer to them because they're below me, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm gonna try and do some of that, get ourselves a bit lower.
You flatten out, and when they grab your arms and legs, you immediately feel the pressure of the air that you are falling through just impact you. But you are strong enough to not let go, and this is going to be an athletics check to move towards Seven. We'll say with advantage, because you got these people on you, and you're not falling at speed anymore. Now you're kind of coasting.
I like to imagine, since I have your hands, your head is right here. I'm like, you can fucking do this.
What is that? That means I have his ass at.
And you can fucking do this. Also, rip ass.
He's just like turkey legging me.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I'm not gonna need advantage. It was a 23.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you are like, you're saying you can do this. His face is so tense with like strain and just absolute like work of trying to move you guys, but you just start like perfect gliding towards Seven, and he was one of the last people to go through, and you're kind of angling almost to make a path to catch him as he's falling. Fantastic, we're back to the top of the order. You guys fall, I don't know, there's some math probably in the book, but let's say like 1,500 feet, except for you guys on the Hugh parachute. Parachute? There's nothing there. I tried. Look, you can have Ryan back. I'm sorry. You guys are moving, still falling extremely quickly, but maybe about half speed of everyone else. Seven, you're back up.
Do I have to do anything, or are they going to get to me?
They're making their way to you, but you could definitely make it easier to catch you.
Okay.
Right now, you are basically a missile.
Okay. I'd like to try and just
Stabilize?
outstretch myself. Yeah.
Sure. This will be another acrobatics.
Oh boy. That's a 20.
Whoa! No need for inspiration, my friend.
No, sir.
Yeah. You sort of put your arms and legs out and almost instinctually plates kind of open up like a plane trying to brake, like an air brake, just all over your body. Just plates increase your air resistance, and you guys see him like just falling and he's falling at like half speed, almost as fast as you guys at this point.
I didn't know I could do that.
I thought he was dapping for a second.
The air dap.
Slowly just tapped up.
That's how real people slow down, and that's true. Hemp, you're up. Unless you have anything else you want to do.
No, that's the end of my turn.
Alrighty, I'm gonna position the.
Below us or above us?
I'm below, I believe, right? Because I'm falling faster.
He went like first, so you would probably be above them, about to pass them.
Okay. I'm gonna take the potion. I'm gonna pop the cap and let it float like right in front of me, so I can just get in there and drink some of it.
I love it.
So I drink the potion.
It sort of tastes like black cherry.
Oh.
And it's very, very sparkling, almost to the point of uncomfortability.
Oh.
But after you drink it, you feel, it's kind of like you're mewing. Like you feel very you feel very fashionable.
You're like handsome Squidward.
Yeah.
Yes, very much like handsome Squidward. You have achieved Eagle Splendor. You have advantage on charisma checks.
And then I fucking, in this newfound state, I just fucking flap my little jacket open, and I'm like, well, this fucking feels good, man. I'm trying
Let's
to
make
catch
this a
wind of
performance check, because that makes it
slide
charisma, and now you can have advantage on it.
it, which makes it.
I imagine you doing like Vogue poses with the robe.
22.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're almost like a flying, one of those flying mammals that has
The sugar glider.
yeah, just like a sugar glider. You just widen out and just see these massive pockets of air form next to you, and you're basically falling at the same speed that they are at this point.
Holy shit. You, and I'm gonna push his head so he's looking up. You say, him's hot as fuck.
Damn. Wow. Smoldering.
Holy shit.
Hey, Shark. Got some words for your mom, real quick.
Oh shit!
Very kind words in Gnomish culture.
Do not talk to my mother.
She's wonderful. Can you deliver the message real quick?
That she's wonderful?
And then whatever the words I want to say are.
Yeah. Perfect. Foray!
They're way too far up here.
I'm just having a grand old time up there.
I don't have a cell phone.
I hope this translates when you see her from my Gnomish culture.
Lay it on.
He's just styling as hard as he can.
Hey, bitch.
I'm going to instinctually slap him. in the air.
Yeah. We need
just not
Chelsey
from-
back to stop Aaron from saying that.
You're just not from here, man. You're not from where I'm from.
He speaks Gnomish.
No, he speaks Goblin.
Yeah, you smack him. He spins around, and when he turns back around, his face is just doing another different pose.
So like, I'm sorry, I didn't consider the implications of cultural differences.
Perfect.
I was thinking like I think. I wasn't thinking how she might think. So I appreciate you putting that sense into me, man.
Perfect. Next up, we got Valar and Shark. We have Valar and Shark, and at this point, almost everyone is falling at the same speed and kind of close-ish to each other, except for Foray, who is like 20 stories above you, and Stewie, who is in complete and utter freefall.
Is she below or above?
She's above you guys. You went first, so this is the round that she will pass you.
Okay.
If we work together by like moving his arms and legs, can we like tilt to like catch? Yeah.
Stewie? That's what I was thinking.
You
Like,
can certainly
like
try.
rudders.
All right.
Let's have each of you make. Oh, what check could this be? I've never done a check for steering another player while in free fall, so.
See, it's really working my muscles, so probably athletics.
Yeah,
say athletics.
sure, fuck it, athletics, whatever. And you're still raging.
Oh, that's a 25.
And then you know what? At this point, I'm gonna just count your initiative with theirs because you guys are all literally touching. If you want to assist, you can also do an athletics.
Mine was 19.
I had a 15.
25.
Oh, you guys are like fucking da 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 da. You fly right as she passes and just catch both of her arms, like with each of you just reaching down and grabbing, and you guys are all at this point falling pretty, I mean, still very fast, but at a much safer rate. And as you guys are approaching the cloud cover, you're hearing this sound from far below you past the clouds, and it kind of sounds like just a constant, like, static noise of complete and utter chaos.
Oh, there must be a courtroom down there.
Perfect. Foray, doing anything?
Why'd you say it like that?
I mean, I'll say this.
Playing the game.
After their round, Stewie turns to you all and she casts Featherfall, which doesn't slow your speed, but when you will land and not be hurt. You'll slow down before you land and be safe. But you're way up above everybody.
Yeah, so I have about 2 turns of falling before I would hit the ground and splat after they do.
Well, before you would reach them, and then there's an
Understood.
indeterminate amount of rounds before you hit the ground through the clouds.
Well, I'm saying they would hit the ground. I'm trying to make sure that I would live if they were to die, is what I'm saying. So it's about 2 rounds-ish? 3 rounds? Less rounds? Because they're falling at the same speed.
They are
I'm saying, like,
falling.
we're moving like this, basically. I'm trying to make sure that they die, that I still have time to react and use the rod.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
we're not gonna die
gotcha.
anymore.
Now you do.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he doesn't know that you have Featherfall.
Now you do. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yes,
you
okay.
feasibly could do that, but if it's like button, it's gonna take you a really long time.
No. I know, because it takes an action.
Yeah. So what's your plan?
I was just making sure that I had the.
Yeah.
I'll click the rod off, and I'm gonna start falling, and that's it.
Good, fantastic. And you're falling faster than them because they are all like either on a parachute or have wings now, and you are just free falling without anything. Sure, another round goes by. You guys are all stable at this point. I'm just gonna go back to Foray because he's the only one who's in any danger.
Real fast. I'm asking Stewie, does the feather fall mean no matter what I take no fall damage?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, even if we were toppling max speed, you don't take fall damage.
100%.
And I'm gonna let go and head dive to the floor.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Really ramp
You're
up my
gonna.
speed.
Oh, I'll just describe when you get there. What's up, Foray?
I'm gonna see that, and just we're constant speed, but I guess they're slower now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make sure that I'm like 6 seconds away from them. So just let me know if I get too close.
Yeah, I mean you're approaching them at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how much further till the ground?
Probably. Well, you guys are still above the clouds. This next round, you guys are going to pass through the clouds, probably around the same time with you and them.
I'll just say that if I'm 100 feet above the ground, I'm going to click the rod for the next couple turns.
Fantastic.
Okay.
You guys fall through the cloud cover, and underneath you is a massive open structure. It's like a big oval ring, and you see that on one side, it is just like stories and stories of like people like piled together. And there's a bunch of huge lights above them angling down to the center of this huge structure. And in the middle of it is this massive beast. It's impossible to tell what it is, but it is absolutely huge in the middle of this arena, if you can understand that. You guys keep falling and falling and falling, and you're getting to the mark where...
I'm going to say 60 feet instead.
Sure, cut it as close as you want, bud. You guys keep falling, and now you hear this crowd is roaring in excitement. And you fall and fall and fall, and the closer you get, the more each of you starts to understand what beast you're about to land over or next to. You're getting to around the 60 feet point. You click the rod.
Yeah.
The amount of force that is applied to your body is incredible.
Yeah, I bet.
I would like from you a strength saving throw to see if you keep your arms.
It's tethered to, it's to my
It's static to your chest. That's true.
I understand. I'm saying it's good.
Yeah.
Your
fur would just come out of your body.
All your
if anything, it's going to fly through me.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
a big old bullet, but I believe the story writes itself.
Let's see it. Let's see the strength saving throw.
It's a nat fucking 20. I swear to God, dude. You saw it.
Holy fuck!
That's amazing. That's beautiful. That's okay. You are falling. You're like, I gotta break. You hear the click of the rod. Then you hear the crunch of your sternum. And then your limbs keep going, but you are able, through sheer force of will, to prevent all of your limbs from rocketing off of your form. You do, however, take
Give it to me.
8 bludgeoning damage.
Oh boy.
As the rod impacts your chest with incredible force. But you are now within safe falling distance of the
That
ground.
would have been such a nice moment with his limbs. Just
I would have died.
We all,
Yeah, you
all, like
would've-
gracefully landed, then like for a soup just like hits the ground.
They were like, put your hands on him.
It would have looked like I went through a
Hands
slap
quick.
shot. Like
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
Exactly.
Side question: what happens? His limbs rip off. He slams into the ground. He's not down. He's dead. Like you have.
Canonically,
to
I
revive.
wouldn't let you revive me.
So, I'm going to cover this in tiers. Mechanically, if you are dealt more damage than your entire health bar, and then that much damage again, you instantly perish. There is no coming back unless you are resurrected, which none of you can do. Thematically, amazing. Just to see confetti for it. Now, in making television with you all, I don't know if I could reasonably instantly kill Caleb on the spot, but goddamn, I fucking would love to. That would have been incredible. Oh,
Oh, God, I cannot believe he rolled a nat 20.
That's anything else, I still would have almost died.
Shark, you are like a speeding bullet approaching the ground. And before you land, you feel this traction, this very light, sensitive traction that slows you down to a walking pace towards the ground. And you're the first to touch down, and you look up at this creature. And everyone else is falling, and you hear this crack and yelp above you, and then a few clicks as someone is laddering down. But in the meantime, from the announcer's booth of the arena, you hear, "Hey! Looks like we got another group of individuals who have just stopped in. Welcome all to the Dino Rodeo." And you see the T-Rex above you turn and roar in your faces, and that's where we're going to end the session.